All right, aloha and welcome to those of you who are watching this on YouTube, presumably in the future. We're just about to get things kicked off for another one of our inspirational team tarot reading broadcasts, and we're broadcasting on multiple platforms right now, inviting people to be able to join in on YouTube. If you're already in the YouTube, go ahead and click the link in my profile. Once we've got 10 people in the YouTube chat, we'll officially begin by getting into our first reading. So if you guys are tuned in on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, now is the time to be able to jump over to YouTube, especially if you guys want to be involved with our we got like this like fun little mini game where we like guess the numbers. I give you guys a bracket, and again, as people are joining in, I'll give you guys like a proper introduction and just being able to get things set up here. So again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, if you guys are sticking around, click the link in my profile to join into this broadcast on YouTube. Once we've got 10 people on YouTube, we'll get right into our first reading. So just going to keep an eye on that, and we're going to roll through things here. I got my lo-fi tunes on in the background. I'm ready to be able to like do some tarot reading for the next several hours. You guys can just like lock me up and keep me here, and I'll just do tarot readings 24/7. Just feed me a new deck every once in a while so it doesn't get too redundant. So beautiful. All right, so again, for those of you tuned in on TikTok, go ahead and click the link in my profile to be able to join in with the team on YouTube. And that's half the experience. Half the experience is being able to like join into the team chat and just being in the vibe in the space. Like, I know you guys come here for the tarot, but like, let's be honest, you come here for the vibes, you come here for the community, you come here for the mood. So that's what we're here to do. So please put on your own ambient background noise, whatever it may be. Pull out some art, pull out some like something you can multitask on. Maybe you're like doing yoga in the room right now or something like that, but please feel free to get yourself nice and comfortable. Again, once we've got about 10 people tuned in on YouTube, we're going to get right into our first reading, and we are at 10 people right now, so I'm going to go over the basic introductions. For those of you on TikTok or Instagram, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube, and from there you'll be able to join the primary team chat, vibe with us there, hang out for a bit, and you'll get to take part in our little mini game that we do. So introduction. If you guys are new, drop a 333 in the chat, and other people will just be able to like say hello and welcome you guys. And thank you to those of you who are regulars as well. And for those of you who are regulars, please feel free to give a nice warm welcome to anybody who may be new. So if you're new, drop a 333 in the chat. So this is our team tarot reading broadcast, and yes, this is about being able to cultivate and share inspiration. The readings that we do, they're not necessarily like psychic readings per se. They're not fortune tellings. They're using the cards as a way for us to be able to see more of ourselves, to be able to work with the cards, to be able to receive a message of inspiration, something that can spark a new idea or ignite a part of our spirit. So what we're going to do, we're going to get into our first reading, and this is a collective team reading, and basically what this means is that every single card that we pull is for whoever happens to be tuned in. So this is a collective reading, and we focus with the intention of show us what we need to see. So that's the intention that we hold as we move through these readings. And again, we're gonna wait one moment. We're actually at like 7 people on YouTube, so we're just gonna wait until we officially got at least 10. So for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube, and once we got 10 people there, we'll get right into our first reading. And so I'll explain the mini game for how this works. The mini game for this is going to be me picking a number and then someone here having to guess the number. And the way how you're going to do this is I'm going to give you a bracket. I'm going to give you like the number is between this number and this number. And then you guys in the chat are going to take 3 guesses only in the YouTube chat. Like, it only counts if you're in the YouTube chat. Take 3 guesses, and then from there, the first person to be able to guess it successfully will be the person that will help facilitate our first reading. And I'll explain a little bit more in terms of what that's going to look like in terms of the facilitation of our reading. It's like us doing a little collective meditation together, and again, focusing on the intention of show us what we need to see. So again, thank you to those of you who are joined in on all platforms. And once we've got about 10 people tuned in on YouTube, we'll officially do that. We're basically there. We're like 8-ish. So again, for those of you on TikTok or Instagram, join in with the rest of the team by clicking the link in my profile to tune in on YouTube. And once we got 10 people there, we'll get right into our first reading. And again, as we're doing these readings, this isn't just tarot reading. Like, this is like tarot reading with like a bigger mythos of us growing together as a team. This is about building a team of shifters, real world superheroes, people who are actively helping assist with the shift in consciousness. So if you're here, this is an invitation for you to be able to connect further with the team. And of course, you can join our team chat. Link for that's in the YouTube. And of course, we're also inviting people to be able to join on Patreon, which is going to be a part of our objective here tonight, is to do as many readings as we can, and also to be able to invite people onto the Patreon. You can currently see we're at about 187, and we're going to work our way up to our next milestone, which is literally only one away. And again, the Patreon is a monthly micro contribution that you can contribute not only just for the team, but also to be able to receive awesome support in return as a leading member. So when you join at the $11 a month, you can join our leading members, join as a leading member within our community, which gives you full access to the team chat. It's specifically created for conscious creators. So if you're inspired by my work and you're like, yo, I want to learn how to like create conscious media too, well, the first thing that I would recommend is connecting with a very, very cool and powerful team. And that is what we've been building. And we have collaborative work periods throughout the week. We had one today all about TikTok tactics for conscious creators. And we got our weekly team podcast, this Thursday's podcast, and we got our regular team meditations. So again, if you're brand new, go ahead and just make yourself comfortable, and we'll work towards getting that first Patreon sign up, I would say by about 8:15, and we'll talk more about it in a minute. But for now, we're going to get right into our first reading. But if anybody's ready to check out that Patreon, go ahead, and the next person who signs up for the Patreon will help facilitate the reading after this. So if you guys are already signed up for the Patreon, drop a 777 in the chat, and just please feel free to hype it up. Be like, yo, like our team's dope, and you guys would totally be like part of this amazing dope team. All right, give me 2 seconds here. I'm just moving my fan off out of sight here. All right, team. Let's get ready. Let's get ready to do some tarot. Here we go. This is the part you've been waiting for. All right. Okay, team. Thank you again to those of you who are new. Thank you to Tyra. Thank you to Tyra, and thank you to Emily as well. And welcome to those of you who are tuned in on any platform. For those of you tuned in on TikTok or Instagram, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube, and that's where you're going to want to be able to take part in this mini game. The mini game is only something for the YouTube chat. So if you're on TikTok, click the link in my profile, and that will take you right over to YouTube. Okay, guys. Here is how the minigame works. I'm going to pick a number. I'm going to tell you what the bracket for that number is. And then the first person to guess this number is the person that's going to help facilitate this first reading. I'll walk you through it. For those of you who are the regulars, you guys know what to expect. For those of you who are new, no worries. We'll walk you through it. And then from there, we'll continue to move into our first reading. But the way how this is going to work, you guys get 3 guesses in the chat. And this only counts in the YouTube chat because it's synchronized there. Otherwise, it'd be hard because the delay is different on everything. So only counts in the YouTube chat. So I'm going to pick the number now, and then you guys get 3 guesses, only 1 guess at a time. First person to get it wins. And if you guys need more guesses, I'll tell you. So use this to train your psychic abilities. And please feel free to like this video and share this broadcast as we get rolling. Let's get right into our first reading, and then we'll go from there. And this will be using the Ananda Tarot deck, and then from there we can also use the Lightworker Oracle deck once we have our first person signed up for the Patreon tonight. So let's dive into this. All right, okay, I'm picking the number. Don't type anything yet. I haven't told you the bracket yet. Okay. All right, okay, I got the number. Okay, the bracket, once I tell you the bracket, you can start making your guesses. 3 guesses each, 1 guess at a time. And yeah, that's basically it. So okay, here we go. All right. The number is between 60 and 90. The number is between 60 and 90. Leave your guesses in the chat. First person who gets it will help facilitate this first reading. Everyone's going to help facilitate, but they'll help do like the core part. And as you guys leave your guesses in the chat, I'll do like some like commentary, horse racing, announcing, auctioneer voice type thing. And 3 guesses each, 1 guess at a time. And if you guys need more guesses, I'll let you know. But guesses are going to be coming in a moment. So thank you again, everyone. And for those of you on TikTok or Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. Otherwise, your guesses don't count. And here come the guesses. And we've got Evelyn out the gate with an 87, followed behind by Lauren with another 87. And we've got Amanda dropping in with a 73. We've got Pisces dropping in with an 82. Solomon dropping in with a 63. Indigo dropping in with a 77. And the more numbers are going to be coming around the corner any second as Tyra drops in with another 87, making sure that part of the tactic here is like making sure that you're not repeating the numbers of the people before you, because sometimes it can happen. And we've got Emily dropping in with an 83. And we've got some additional numbers that are going to be coming in any second. I just have to keep talking because if I stop talking, I might explode. Wizard drops in 65. I don't know. I want to take that chance. And go ahead, keep coming with those guesses. And Low drops in an 81. No one's got it yet, but they're still searching for it. And using the strategy, not using all your guesses right away. Sometimes if you wait long enough, you can narrow it down. Starlight dropping in with an 89. Ooh, these guesses, they're gonna get there eventually. Starlight with their second guess of 72. Psyche with their second guess of 62. We've still got a few more guesses for the first round of people, but if nobody gets it, we'll give you guys a second guess, and hopefully somebody gets it. Sometimes this happens and it takes so there's just an hour of me holding space for people to guess. No, we get it eventually. Evelyn drops in an 84. Wizard drops in an 89. Tyra drops in a 65. And let me just double check, make sure nobody's got it yet. Nope, nobody's got it yet. Nobody's got it yet. Lauren drops in a 68. All solid guesses. Listen to your intuition. As the voice on the wind whispers to you the answer, perhaps it's already in your heart. Again, the guesses only count for those of you on YouTube. That's all right. And Psyche lands it with an 88. Oh, congratulations, Psyche. I was a little confused on what you said. That was your third. Yeah, okay. And that's your third one. So congratulations, Pisces. Psyche actually got it. So it was 88 for that one. So Pisces, congratulations to you. Let's give a nice little applause for Pisces. Now, of course, Pisces, you've recently signed up for the Patreon as well. Pisces, the option's always there, and this goes for anybody. If you want to forward the victory to someone, even a new person, you're more than welcome to. I mean, you know how it works. We're still gonna get a number anyways. So, but Pisces, you whatever you prefer. If you're feeling okay, I'm feeling the call to facilitate, or if you would like to pass on the facilitation to somebody else, I'll leave that choice to you. That's part of the fun of the game. So good job, everyone. Let's hear a nice congratulations to Pisces who got it on that one. So congratulations, Pisces. Well done. Tuning into the future. Bianca, thank you for your guesses on TikTok as well, and for anybody else tuned in on any platform. So all right, okay, Pisces, you're gonna forward your victory to a new person. Pisces, please feel free. Who would you like to forward it to? You can literally just say, I would, new people wise, Tyra, Emily, maybe Emily. Emily was here first. Emily, let us know if you want to facilitate this first reading. Cool, awesome. Yo, Defigan's in here. Yo. All right, so once we get that figured out, we'll get right into our first reading, and I'll walk you guys through it, especially again if you guys are new. And thank you guys so much. Again, this is it's not just tarot reading; it's hanging out as a team, because again, this is about building a team of shifters, people who are actively helping assist with the shift in consciousness. This is just a cool thing that we do. We're not only just boosting each other up, we're again inviting people to connect further with the community. We're building the team. And of course, being able to invite people to the Patreon, that's super important. Again, that helps support not only me, helps the community, and it's also an invitation for you guys to be able to connect further as a leading member. When you sign up on the Patreon as a leading member, think of it as an investment for yourself. Think of it as a way of being you know what, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be able to support, invest in myself to be able to receive that supportive community. Because seriously, being connected with community and team, so valuable and so powerful. So worth way more than $11 a month, and we keep it affordable because building the team is a core objective. So all right, looks like we're going to be passing it over to Emily. Emily, go ahead and let us know if you're ready in the chat, and again, we'll walk you through this. So for everybody here, this is where it gets even more collaborative. You guys are going to join in a little bit of a meditation with us, and we're going to collectively focus our intention of show us what we need to see. Yo, Indigo Jack, thanks for joining in. Good to see you, dude. Thank you so much. Javier, thank you for joining as well. All right, so Emily, what we're gonna do, and for everybody here, we're gonna go into a little meditation, just gonna drop you into your breath. You're gonna connect with some gratitude, And then from there, we're going to focus our attention on the intention, show us what we need to see. And then from there, we'll kind of like guide you through that for a moment. And then what you're going to do at that point, Emily, you're going to take a few breaths, listen to your intuition, and then you're going to type now into the chat. I'll guide you through this. And then when you type now in the chat, that's when we like split the deck, and that's how we pull the card. So there's like the synchronicity of you typing it and us holding space, and everybody else, you guys will type in your wizard magic noises. So your magic wizard noises? What did I say? Anyways, okay team, let's get ready to do this. If you guys are ready for our first reading, drop an 1111 in the chat. Let's hype this up. And again, this is a powerful way for us to be able to receive like insight from source. This is like us like tapping into Galactic Center. We got a really cool format here, so it's a really cool way to be able to receive messages. And again, for anybody here, these are team readings. So if you are here, these readings are for you. These messages are for you. So that's kind of the way how it works. So for those of you tuned in on TikTok, go ahead and click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube and connect with the primary chat there. We got about 20 people tuned in on YouTube, and a few people tuned in on TikTok, and a few people tuned in on Facebook. So thank you again, everyone. All right, let's get ready to do this, team. And again, as we do this, let's work on getting that first Patreon sign up. I would say by about 10:20. Let's aim to get that first Patreon sign up by 10:20. So again, you can see down below, for those of you on YouTube, we're currently at 187 towards our next goal of 188. My overall goal is for us to be able to reach 200 by the end of the month. Like that's literally my job. My job is to reach 200 by the end of the month. And then next month, I'll be aiming for 230. And again, that's just continuing to build. It supports me. I got bills to pay. But again, this is my devotion. It helps me do what I can do on a regular basis to be able to show up for the community and just give you guys like so much value. So again, Patreon link, it's up in the top. For those of you on YouTube, you can click the button there. It's also down below in the info. And for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, it's also in my profile link. And if you're thinking of signing up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. Plus, when you sign up, you can also get discounts for our item shop, which includes our super beautiful Light Guardian crystals. And I'll show you, which one should I use tonight? I think the batteries on these need to be replaced soon. But here's one. This was like a beefy one. They're not all that size. Here, I'll show you this one. This is like a super nice Lumerian one. But anyways, if you sign up for the Patreon, you get a discount for the item shop. Those are some of the items you can get. But more so than that, when you sign up as a leading member, you get access to our private community team space as a leading member. So anybody can join our public chat, but then full access to the chat is available for leading members. So go ahead. It only takes 5 minutes to sign up. Next person who signs up on the Patreon will also be facilitating the next reading. So let's keep this flow going. I'm going to be on here for a while. Let's work on reaching like 190 tonight. I'd say let's aim for 190. No, let's aim for 192 tonight. We'll see how it goes. So one at a time. So let's get into that first reading. And if you guys are thinking of signing up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. And reminder, last thing, and we'll get right into this, is contributions only process on the 1st of each month. So even if you sign up today, it doesn't process until September 1st. So again, go check out the Patreon if you're interested. It's a super awesome way to support yourself and the community and to be able to connect with a really cool team of conscious creators and leaders. So beautiful. All right, team, let's get ready to do this. Thank you so much for those of you listening and holding space and allowing me to invite you into what it is that we're creating together. So, okay. Emily is ready. For everybody here, just taking a moment, follow my lead, and just gently close your eyes. So everybody's going to join us in this little group meditation. So I invite you to be able to join us if you choose, unless you're like driving or something like that. Just do what you feel called to do. But inviting you into this space, everybody here, and gently, we're just going to shift it up, listening to my voice, and gently connecting with your breath. And soft, gentle inhales, and soft, gentle exhales. Straighten up your posture, open up your chest, relax your face. Gently, you can put your hand on your heart if you choose. For Emily and for everybody here, just taking a moment, bringing yourself into a space of gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, gratitude for the messages we are about to receive, gratitude for the team, gratitude for the sacred space. Holding this gratitude in our heart, bringing our attention to the intention of show us what we need to see. So for Emily and for everybody, focusing on that intention, show us what we need to see. We being the collective, we being the individual, we being the team, this amazing community and team that we've been building, this team of shifters, light guardians, those of us who are actively helping assist with the shift in consciousness through acts of creativity and compassion and personal development. Focusing on this intention, show us what we need to see. Breathing here. I want you to speak this intention with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. And for Emily, continuing to focus on this intention, take a few breaths here, listen to your intuition, and when you are ready, type now into the chat and we'll pull the card. For everybody else, gently open your eyes, return your awareness to the space around you, and type your wizard noises in the chat. And for those of you who are regulars, please feel free to demonstrate exactly what we mean by wizard noises. They're just like, huh? Like, what does that even mean? And in the meantime, we're going to charge the deck a little bit more. So here we go. All right. And oh, do you feel the times as they continue to change? Do you feel the stories as things continue to rearrange? For as the shadow looms, the light must rise, for we are here to ignite the skies. For this is our opportunity to truly rise as individuals in a team. Together we shall fly to new heights and to new sights through the wings of our faith and our trust. We will bring down this wisdom with the truth of our love. And now, as Emily types into the chat, we shall see what message the universe has. Come for the tarot reading, stay for the wizard noises. Okie dokie. All right. The first card that we have pulled for everybody, on behalf of Emily helping facilitate, but for all of us, for all the shifters here, the first card that we have pulled for tonight is Cups number 7. Cups number 7. So just give me 2 seconds here. What we're going to do, we're going to open up the book. I'm going to read from the book, and then what we do is I channel some additional inspiration and just kind of like riff on some stuff to be able to give you guys some more things to go about. And again, the intention here is just kind of like hype things up and to be able to tell you guys things that your heart's going to be like, oh damn, I needed to hear that. That's the intention of us doing this, is to like level up and to build as a team. Beautiful. I love how YouTube sometimes blocks your guys' wizard noises. It's just like, this isn't a wizard noise, this is spam. And I'm like, no, YouTube, get with the program. Shoo 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 is clearly a wizard noise. Like, come on. Anyways, all right, I'm gonna visually explain this image first and foremost, and then from there we're gonna read a little bit more. Let's work on getting that first Patreon sign up. Again, if you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, links in the chat. You can listen to this while signing up for the Patreon. So if you're a fan of my work, go ahead, join on the Patreon. And again, when you join there, you can join as a leading member. Working our way towards 188, currently at 187. Next person that signs up will be able to facilitate the next reading. And for those of you on TikTok, yo, Colby, for those of you on TikTok, click the link in my profile to join the primary chat on YouTube. That's where like the core, a lot more people are on YouTube. So join the YouTube so you can vibe with the team, and everybody there is so amazingly beautiful and awesome. Let's get into this. I'm going to visually explain this card and then we'll dive a little bit deeper. So for everybody here, this card is for you. So visually just explaining it. Again, for those of you on TikTok, click the link in my profile because it's hard for you to see it when I'm showing it to the YouTube camera. Cup 7. Visually explaining it here, we have a beautiful cup kind of on this platform underneath what appears to be like the rising moon, even though there's still like daytime down below. And you can see like that one little point of light, presumably the moon, just kind of very centered with this cup. This cup has this beautiful red liquid, presumably wine. And then you can see there's actually like 6 other cups kind of like dancing behind it. Do cups dance? I've seen Beauty and the Beast too many times. I just assume they're dancing. They're floating, whatever they're doing. They're kind of semi-transparent. Again, just kind of like this like river in the background. I'm just literally explaining it. That's all I'm doing. I'm just literally explaining it and picking out any sort of nuance. But yeah, that's basically it. It's a very, very beautiful image. So, okay, all right. Gonna read into this. So again, reminder, if you're here, this message is for you. Let's dive into this. We'll keep an eye open for that Patreon, and let's get that next Patreon as we do this so that we can get ready to jump right into the next reading. Cup dance. Here we go. Okay. All right. If you're here, this message is for you. You can listen with your heart. As I'm reading through it, drop an 1111 if anything resonates with you. And the other thing you're going to do is write out an affirmation based on the teachings of this card and drop that into the chat as you do this. If you're here for the first time, Thank you so much. And for the regulars, thank you for holding space. Let's get right into this reading. I'm going to put on my like wizard voice. Here we go. Seven of Cups. The image. In the foreground of a full moon night, a glass filled with red wine stands in the center of a wide landscape. 6 more glasses disappear in the haze of the horizon. Meaning, wishes and unlived fantasies tear the real image of the world when man holds on too tightly within. We see what we want to see because our view is colored by our subconscious, yet appearances are deceiving. Driven by a subconscious longing at times, man chooses to escape the world in a state of intoxication that only leads him into the lands of forgetfulness for a little while. If we are aware of the mechanisms of the subconscious, we are then able to avoid rude awakenings under certain circumstances. I'm going to reread that part. If we are aware of the mechanisms of the subconscious, we are then able to avoid rude awakenings under certain circumstances. What arises from the wish to change one's perception allows itself to be used as a tool for inner and outer transformation. Whoever would like to change the world must begin with themselves. 11-11 on that one, am I right? Can I get a hello there? The subconscious must be brought to the surface in order to bring subconscious drives under the control of conscious mind. An inner stance that is ruled by uncontrolled, exuberant emotions can lead to obsessive imaginings. The contact with the higher self creates deep trust. The opening of spirit for higher intelligence helps to create a connection between the different aspects of life and bring them into harmony with each other. In order to meaningfully transform life, man needs a vision, which can be realized on all levels of existence. In becoming aware of his inner divine spark, man becomes a co-creator in the divine order of life. Astrological significance: Moon, Neptune, septile aspects. Keywords: illusion, unconsciousness, transformation, irrationality, fantasy, visionary thinking, imagination, dreams, trance state, visualization, uncovering the hidden, unprocessed feelings, subconscious longings. Traditional meaning: illusion, betrayal of self, escapism, false hopes and ideas, intoxication, loss of reality, sobriety. Okay, so now we're going to dive a little bit deeper into this card. Seeing you guys drop those 11-11s. Again, let's keep rolling through this, and let's work on getting that first Patreon sign up as we're doing this. So for anybody who signs up for the Patreon, we'll give you guys huge shout outs, monthly contributions, support the work that we do as a community, and join our private community space as a leading member. You can read it and check it out, and we'll focus on this card, and let's just dive into this a little bit more. All right. So this is a very interesting card for us to be able to receive first thing within tonight's reading. This card is in many ways kind of like an important awakening that needs to happen. The process of kind of like breaking out of an old cycle or breaking out of an illusion. And so with this card, it's really kind of like acknowledging, it's really inviting us to be able to acknowledge like where we're putting our energy right now. And whether or not our energy is literally just going to kind of like repeating cycles that are kind of keeping us in almost like a sleepwalking state, or if we're using that energy to be able to direct it towards achieving our goals and our dreams. So with this card, let's invite ourselves to really be able to reflect on just being able to acknowledge where our energy can be rerouted with more effectiveness. Where are we spending time in a way that is a little bit outside of moderation, and knowing that moderation in itself is a practice. Moderation is something you develop. Moderation is a result of temperance and willpower that is actually something that you strengthen like a muscle. And the fact is, sometimes we only learn how to be able to cultivate willpower when we're at a place where we kind of like have no other option to. We either realize that we're going to kind of like stay where we are and get into this repeating cycle, which again can be something, even though it's kind of referring here to like intoxications, that can be intoxications of any mean. That could be addicted to staying up late at night watching TikTok. That could be addicted to food. That could be addicted to just like watching Netflix more than you need to. And so it's inviting us to really be able to make sure that we're balancing our presence in both fantasy and reality, so to speak, opposed to just kind of living in fantasy. So this is where the card kind of really draws on the idea of escapism. And I think we see this a lot with the world right now. There's a lot of people who obviously, due to the circumstances of the world, are kind of in this place where it can be challenging to kind of acknowledge the reality as it is, and even to be able to acknowledge their own unconscious processings and things that they might be dealing with, their shadow work, so to speak. And so sometimes, and I mean, how many of us have done this, where like instead of actually doing shadow work, you would actually just kind of like put it off to the side and then kind of just continue to fuel the desires and fascinations of the ego and kind of like numb yourself just by keeping yourself busy, right? Like how many people nowadays literally do this as a regular habit where they actually will not they don't really know how to like consciously sit with their emotions. They may have something that is arising within them, but then instead of actually being able to sit there and getting curious and be like, okay, what is this teaching me? Like, what is the illusion that I can break through right now? Where is there healing that I can send? Instead, a lot of people would just be like, oh no, I'm feeling things right now. Better turn on Netflix, better go eat food, better go do something to be able to distract myself, anything but being able to cultivate the unconscious, make it conscious within myself. But this is really inviting us to be able to understand that it's something to be it's something that we can support each other in doing as a community, especially when you're knowing that you are not doing it alone, and being able to realize that for a lot of us, essentially what we're doing is, we're kind of like detoxing from our addictions. And what are we addicted to? Again, that can be a whole bunch of things, a big variety of spectrum. We can even be addicted to like our own kind of like our own suffering, as bizarre as that may sound, because we actually become familiar inside of like those aspects of ourselves, and that's where you can kind of get into the repeating process. But this is about being able to really understand that when we cultivate an overall shift within our mindset and within our health and within our life, this is going to help lead us towards the idea of being able to break out, being able to kind of like move beyond the intoxication and move beyond like the unconscious old cycles to be able to make them conscious. Because that's the first thing you have to do, right? Like some people they're probably like doing cycles, but they don't even they haven't fully acknowledged it. They're just like, no, this is just normal. Like this is okay. And I'm not to say that like it's wrong to be able to like, watch Netflix or eat food or do whatever or anything like that. That's okay. But it's just the relationship that you have with it. It's the balance that you have with it. You don't want to be doing it to a point where it's literally getting in between you and your dreams. So I think in that sense, like that's a great invitation for all of us to be able to reflect and be like, what am I doing right now that is actually like getting in the way of me and my dreams? And you're the only one that can be radically honest with yourself about that. And that doesn't mean that you've been doing something wrong. It just means that's where you're at in terms of the stage of your learning, to be able to acknowledge the behaviors that you're repeating and then be able to realize, be like, wait a second, that is like kind of like literally between me and my dreams right now, but it's also a stepping stone towards higher lessons. And then being able to utilize that as a chance to be able to make the unconscious conscious, because that's what the awakening of consciousness is about. It's about being able to make the unconscious conscious. And what parts of yourself are still unconscious? Again, the unconscious parts of yourself are usually the parts that we kind of like react with. It's just kind of like something happens, you immediately do this. Something happens, you immediately do that. We want to be able to observe and really be curious about why it is that we're doing things. And again, I think it's a powerful way to be able to live your life where literally everything that you do throughout your entire day is taking you a step closer towards your dreams. That's powerful. That's really, really powerful. Like what happens when you start living that way? Like everything that you do within your entire day is moving you closer towards your dreams. Even if it's literally just going to the grocery store, because you can go to the grocery store in a very mindful way. You can be like, I'm going to get dope food and I'm going to like nurture myself. That's absolutely supporting yourself towards getting closer to your dreams. And then at the end of the day, after you've like put in the hard work and you've like accomplished what you set out to do, even just to be able to like spend time in the evening resting and watching whatever you want to watch or whatever like that, that's super important. Rest is a part of the work. So it doesn't mean like, oh, don't rest, but it absolutely just means create a routine where rest is a healthy part of the process, opposed to something that you use to escape, opposed to using rest as an escape route to be able to get away from things. So again, it's something where there's no shame in being able to acknowledge that there are certain habits within each of our life that may be kind of between ourselves and our soul's goal. But again, it's about being able to bring consciousness. It's being able to bring awareness to it. And from there, that's how you transform. So this card is a lot to do with transformation. You know, this card is a very, very powerful card, which invites us to be able to break through the illusion and to be able to move towards spiritual sobriety. What does spiritual sobriety mean to you? You know, like that's even like a powerful word. I don't really like think of using that word too often, so to speak, but I feel like that's kind of like a good way of putting it. You know, like you're not just like, oh, like okay, you might not be doing any drugs and stuff like that or anything like that, but it's like, but are you sober? But are you spiritually sober? Or are you intoxicated by the fascinations that you feed your ego? Right? Like that's like literally, you look at people like they are drunk on their addiction to video games, just as an example, right? And again, no shame. This isn't any shame. This is just simply about being able to bring awareness, right? Being able to bring awareness to our own actions. Some people will stay there. And that's the thing. If this is like a card that kind of relates to maybe somebody else in your life, the best thing you can do is to lead by your own example, right? Some people, they might just kind of continue to be in those cycles for quite some time. But one of the best things that you can do is lead by example and just move yourself into that place where you're cultivating the momentum that's going to help you transform yourself as you move forward towards manifesting your dreams. And really also the thing here, and I'll just mention this because again, you know, with the cup, the cup's always about the water. The cup's always about the emotions. So this is about being able to drop deeper into our emotional waters, drop deeper into the wisdom of our heart. And so this is where you actually begin to connect with like hidden parts of yourself. You actually get to meet more parts of yourself. So this is a very, very powerful card where, again, you know, like through the process of detoxification and sobriety, it actually invites us to be able to meet more parts of yourself. And we're like, whoa, there's a part of myself that actually enjoys going for walks in nature. There's a part of myself that actually enjoys just sitting with a notepad and writing out what comes to mind. There's a part of myself that actually enjoys like doing photography by myself or something like all of these like little habits and these creative outlets that we might not have really kind of found within ourselves because we were just fascinating ourselves with the distractions that we're feeding the ego, which is again kind of like the cup can literally be the intoxication. But again, it's like you're almost like intoxicating yourself with just kind of like things that almost just like they like saturate your emotions and stuff like that. They make you feel good, but they don't actually deal with the deeper feeling. You know, it's like, how do you feel right now? Well, I'm sitting here just kind of like watching stuff and enjoying myself. But, and again, like assuming this is context outside of moderation, and it's like, yeah, this feels good. This feels good. But then in retrospect, it's like, ooh, but I didn't really accomplish what I was planning to do this week. How does that feel, right? And then it's like, oh, suddenly that doesn't taste as good anymore. And then eventually what you actually want to do, you actually want to become addicted to the things that make you feel good. What does that look like within your life? Can you get addicted to doing the things that are moving you forward towards your spiritual path? And what happens, again, just as we get close to wrapping this up, if you can literally do things throughout your entire day that are literally moving towards your spiritual awareness and moving you towards your dreams, what can that look like? So awakening the unconscious and being able to kind of like become self-aware of immoderation within our life, making the unconscious conscious, transformation, and really being able to just move into a new place of hope and optimism towards ourselves and stepping into that place of spiritual sobriety. If you want to use that term, it's totally up to you. Drop an 1111 in the chat if this resonates with you, and let's drop a little affirmation. And as we're doing that, I'll read some comments on air as well related to affirmation. So leave an affirmation down in the chat. Type out an affirmation into the chat to confirm. Like when you type the affirmation in the chat, it's like telling your body that you like listened, and then you get to embody it. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna bring this into form. So like even just right now, you know, like I invite you to be able to just take a moment to be like, are there things within my day-to-day life that are actually between me and my dreams? And in a sense they are. In the bigger sense, they're actually not, because the path between you and your dreams is the obstacles are the path, if that makes sense. The obstacles are the lessons, but your objective is to be able to dissolve the obstacles instead of like constantly just kind of staying where they are, you know, like, oh, I've been stuck on this obstacle for quite a while. You want to be able to overcome those obstacles opposed to just thinking that the objective is simply to like think that the obstacles are a bad thing. Like, no, the obstacles are actually where you're learning from as well, and it will help you bring more awareness when those obstacles do arise again, you know, because we're not perfect. And that's kind of the thing, is like, even where you might be like, wow, things are like, I got things dialed in, I'm a pro right now, there may be times where you might just be like, oh, you know, like, this has just been a different, like, the week's been different, and you kind of, it's like an elastic band. Like, sometimes you might be like really on point, and then a few times you might just kind of like let loose, and you might just kind of return back to old habits, but then you might come back out of those habits. So again, it's not like this idea where you're like literally being like, okay, I got things dialed in, and that means like I'm never gonna like make a mistake or anything like that. There will be days where you'll like kind of like quote unquote relapse, and I use that term more in like a relative sense. But again, if anything, what will actually happen is, as you develop more consciousness, your relapse will become like less and less consistent. So you might kind of like relapse into an old self-defeating behavior, but you might only be there just for a little bit, just enough to be able to be like, actually, you know what, this isn't where I want to be. Like, actually, like, I used to like being here, but now I'm just like, nah, it doesn't really do it for me anymore. So every now and then you actually revisit your vices just to be able to check in with yourself and be like, does this still have a grip over me? And you'll notice that as you consciously develop more self-awareness, that the grip of your vices will become less and less and less as you continue to moving forward. But again, it comes hand in hand with that self-awareness, which helps you kind of like cultivate that temperance and that willpower, which will allow you in making those choices. Does that make sense, guys? Did I do a good job of explaining this for you? If I did, let me know. And I know you already dropped 1111. See, I don't know, drop an emoticon. Just drop a funny emoticon. That's all. But yeah, let's read some affirmations here. So affirmation wise, I'm just gonna create an affirmation off the top of my head. Abby, thank you for your comment on TikTok. Okay, and thank you for those of you on the Project Carafont TikTok as well. Okay, so a little affirmation off the top of my head. I affirm I affirm my commitment to maintaining self-awareness as I move forward with my habits on a regular day, to be able to continue to strive towards my dreams, to be able to make the unconscious conscious, and to be able to become self-aware if I feel myself moving into depths of intoxication relative to a variety of vices that could arise, so to speak, and continue to move forward with more conscious awareness towards my dreams every single day. There, that's my affirmation. I'm not gonna write that out, but that's long. But any affirmation that you feel kind of relates to you can literally just be like, you know, like I am committed to changing my habits. I'm committed to refining my habits towards my spiritual growth. Something like that. You can literally type that into the chat and go ahead, write out your own little affirmation down the chat. So Emily, thank you so much for helping facilitate that first reading. Thank you to everybody. You guys did a great job of helping bring that reading out for the team. And yeah, let me know how that resonates with you. You can literally just write out another message, write out that affirmation, and we'll read those affirmations in a second. Pisces says, I move toward growth. I move to embody flow. Beautiful. Thank you, Pisces, one of our Patreon supporters. Evelyn says, I am brave enough to face my bad habits, take responsibility for them, and work to create healthy habits in their place. Beautiful. Well said, Evelyn. Curtis, my attention is on the higher self. I pray more instead of indulge in unhealthy things. Good for you, Curtis. Well said. Yeah, it's a powerful thing when we know that like every single one of us, like we come into this world to be able to like experience what it's like to transmute vices, but we don't really talk about it that much. But it's just actually really powerful to be able to be like, oh, wow, everybody's dealing with this. And the fact that everybody's dealing with it, it actually becomes like a motivational thing, because it's like, let's do it together, right? Like, you know, it's like when you're working on things with the team, with a project, it actually can be very, very inspiring for you. So any other affirmations, go ahead and leave those in the chat. Emily says, my vision was clouded by my habits, detoxing myself of the unhealthy relationships. Thank you, Emily, for sharing. And any in the Instagram? Awesome. Thank you, Melisha, for joining in. AJ, thank you for joining in. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, please do me a favor. If you guys are sticking around, do yourself a favor. Click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. Then you can join like the primary vibe in the YouTube chat there. And we'll move into another reading, but we're still going to work towards being able to get the next Patreon signups. Originally we said by 10:30, so we're going to work towards getting that next Patreon sign. I would say by about 10:45. And again, that will be taking us up to 188. So just reading a couple more affirmations here. Joshua, I affirm I will dedicate more time to self-growth to help facilitate the conscious to help facilitate the conscious from the unconscious. Very well said, Joshua. Thank you for sharing. Awesome. All right. Okay, team. So what we're going to do, we're just going to take a brief little intermission here. Thank you again, everyone, so much for joining in. We're going to get right into our next reading momentarily. Just want to be able to remind and invite people that they are welcome to join on the Patreon. And again, Patreon, that's where you can support the work that I do with a monthly contribution. And when you join on there, you're helping us reach our Patreon goals, which again is our next goals at 188. We're currently at 187. And once we... one second. And all right, so again, what we're going to do, we're going to work on getting our Patreon up from 187 up to 188, and we'll work on reaching even just like 190 tonight. I think is a pretty solid goal. So we'll work on reaching 190 tonight for the Patreon. And again, when you join on Patreon, you're doing it to be able to help support the work that I do, helping support the community, but you're also getting the support in return. When you join at the $11 level, you can join as a leading member in the team, which gives you access to the rest of our community team space, our community team chat, which is specifically created for conscious creators and leaders. And when you join on there, you can join into our collaborative work periods that we do for conscious creators. You can join our weekly team podcast. And you can also get access to me as a conscious media creation coach, which in itself is worth like a couple $100s a month. But again, we make it affordable at $11 to be able to help support you guys. So if you guys are fans of my work and you're like, yo, I'm really inspired by that, and you would like the idea of being able to connect and be in that support of a team of conscious creators, then definitely go ahead and check out the Patreon, and do me a favor and drop a 555 in the chat if you're ready to be able to sign up for the Patreon. And it only takes about 5 minutes. Contributions process on the first of each month. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone. So we'll keep an eye open for that. And we got about 15 people tuned in on Instagram, 15 people tuned in on YouTube, and a few people tuned in on TikTok and Instagram. And yeah, and anybody on Facebook as well. You guys are welcome to join in on YouTube. So we're gonna keep our eyes open for that first Patreon sign up, and we're gonna get right into our next reading. And again, we're gonna do like our like mini game reading thing. So thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you guys are in the chat, if you guys are already signed up for the Patreon, drop a 777 in the chat, and please feel free to hype it up. And thank you again, everyone, for hanging out. You guys are awesome. And if you haven't yet, you guys are welcome. If you're new, if you haven't yet, you can connect to our team chat. When you connect to our team chat, that will give you just a better understanding of what the community is about. You can check it out, and then you can sign up for the Patreon later. But yeah, putting in the work, working up to 200 on Patreon by the end of the month. That's my job. And I appreciate you guys holding space. And again, this is more than just tarot and Patreon. This is building the team. This is building our team of shifters. So with that said, we're going to get right into another reading, and we're going to use the Ananda Tarot deck. Once we have someone signed up for the Patreon, then we'll give them the option to choose from the Lightworker Oracle deck, which is really cool. And again, you can also choose from the Ananda Tarot deck. So if you guys want to, let's get that first Patreon sign up, and then if the person wants to use the Lightworker Oracle deck, we can do that. So again, guys, it only takes about 5 minutes to sign up for the Patreon. And if you're thinking of signing up, even just now, you can do it while we're talking. It only takes 5 minutes. Credit card or PayPal works fine. And we'll hold space for that. And we'll get that. Let's aim for that next Patreon sign up by about 10:45. And with that said, we'll move into our next reading for the time being. So thank you again, everyone. And let's work on getting that Patreon sign up, and then we'll go right into our next reading after this. So all right, so with that said, I'm going to do the mini game again. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick a number. I'm going to tell you guys the bracket, and then you guys are going to guess what number it is. You get 3 guesses, 1 guess at a time. Only counts if you're on YouTube. So if you're on TikTok or Instagram, AJ, if you want to join in on YouTube, you're welcome to join the mini game. Click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube, and go ahead and do that now. Okay, I'm gonna decide the number real quick. Okay, I got the number. All right, you guys ready for this? Okay, here we go. Thanks again, everyone. You guys are awesome. I love hanging out with you. All right. The number is between, once I say the number, you can begin leaving your guesses. The number is between 100 and 130. The number is between 100 and 130. Leave your guesses in the chat. Guesses only count if you're on YouTube. So if you're on TikTok, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. Same with Instagram. And 1 guess at a time, 3 guesses maximum each, unless I tell you have more guesses. And again, for those of you on TikTok, guesses only count if you're on YouTube. So for those of you who are on TikTok and Instagram, if you want to join the minigame, go ahead real quick, click the link in my profile, join it on YouTube. The numbers are coming in. And again, the bracket is between 100 and 130. And here come the numbers. Evelyn dropping in with a 123 to start off. Emily with a 116. And we've got Psyche dropping in with a 120. And Jade coming in with a 122. We've got more numbers coming around the corner as Joshua drops in with a 105. And right behind Joshua, we've got someone else who hasn't typed it yet, but they're going to type it in any second. I just have to wait. Who's the next person that's going to take that guess as I'm continuing to create words out of my face as we're trying to continue the pace of the auction? And Curtis drops in at 125 without a moment to lose. So, and more guesses are coming in. If you haven't already guessed, go ahead and create those guesses in the chat. And again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile, be able to join it on YouTube. And Pisces coming in with a 128. And looking for more guesses here. No one has got it yet. So AJ jumping in with a fancy 124. AJ dropping in their first guess. Again, you guys got 3 guesses. You can literally do your guesses like one after the other. You can use them all at once. Like you can literally do that. And AJ coming in with a 113. Joshua with a 109. Evelyn dropping in with a 111, a solid guess, but nobody's got it yet. There's probably less than half the numbers yet left. Who's gonna get it? Okay, AJ dropping in with a 118. And if you guys have used your 3 guesses already, you can go ahead and make 3 more guesses. For those of you who are tuned in on TikTok, we're doing a mini game right now. Curtis dropping in a 106. Solomon dropping in a 127. Using your psychic instincts, connect as I telepathically send the number to you. This looks like a mini game, but it's actually psychic training. That's exactly what it is. And Curtis drops in a 109. Emily dropping in a 129. Looks like we're starting to get duplicates now. This is where the strategy comes in. Make sure you're not repeating the duplicates. Oh, and what's this? Pisces with a back-to-back victory of 108. Congratulations, Pisces. Tried getting it. Oh, Pisces got it again. All right, Pisces got it. It was 108, but Pisces got the first one, and Pisces shared the victory with someone else. So Pisces, you're welcome to take this one, Pisces. It's up to you, whatever you feel called to do. Thank you, everyone, for your guesses. AJ, thank you as well. Hold off on the guesses. Let's hear a nice round of applause for Pisces, for Melissa, who again is one of our Patreon supporters. And let's get ready to get right into this next reading. So go ahead, you guys can be like, yeah, good job, Pisces. Yeah. And Pisces, let us know, do you want to forward this reading? Do you want to facilitate this reading? Considering you forwarded the last one, I feel like you're entitled to do this one. It's totally up to you. not gonna decide for you either way. So yeah, for those of you on TikTok, if you don't already yet, download the mobile app for YouTube, or what you can also do is you can literally just watch this on desktop if you prefer. So you can literally just go to youtube.com/skullbabylon, and that's where you can find on YouTube there. And just give me 2 seconds here. I just have to, I think my camera froze, but that's just because I'm restarting a thing. All right, team. Okay, let's get ready to decide. Let's see. Taking the W this time, says Pisces. Pisces is gonna do this one. So, all right. Okay, let me just see here. I'm just restarting the Instagram feed in the background. Just gonna make sure that this is ready to go. And again, as we get ready to move into this team, we'll keep an eye open for that next Patreon sign up. So this can either be, again, you guys are welcome to sign up for the Patreon if you're brand new. You can also increase your Patreon pledge if you're already signed up for the Patreon. And just confirming the YouTube. All right, and Pisces, let's get ready to move into this one. And again, So we'll keep moving forward from here, team, and let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up. Pending on just kind of like going with the flow and everything like that, this could be the last reading for tonight. As long as we have another Patreon sign up after this, we'll continue to do readings beyond this point. Otherwise, this will be the last reading for tonight. And if we ended early, that's okay. Like, still get to just be able to do some dope readings. I'm totally down to be able to do some more readings. So let's work on getting that Patreon sign up. So again, if you guys are fans of my work, you can join on Patreon with a monthly contribution. When you join at the $11 level, you can join as a leading member, which gives you access to our private community space. Plus, you're helping us reach our Patreon goals. We're currently at 187. So thank you again, everyone, for your support in all forms. And drop a 555 if you're feeling like you're ready to sign up for the Patreon. And for those of you on TikTok, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. And you can also find the Patreon link there. Pisces, go ahead. Let me know that you're ready, and let's get ready to roll into this one. And this is going to be with the Ananda Tarot deck, and I'm just going to drink a little bit of tea here real quick. If you guys are new, drop a 333 in the comments. And yeah, we're right about to get to our next reading. We've been doing these tarot readings for quite some time. And again, I just appreciate everybody so much for being a part of this journey. Like back when we like started doing the readings for this, I think we were at like, I think we were actually like when I restarted doing these, I think we were actually down like at like below 100. So we've continued to build the momentum. So again, for those of you who are new, for those of you on TikTok or Instagram, click the link in my profile to join the primary chat on YouTube. And again, these readings, these are like collective readings. So everybody's going to help facilitate. Pisces is going to help draw the card. But if you're here, this reading is for you. So stick around and you'll be able to receive the insight and the inspiration here. So again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in. Let's work on getting that Patreon sign up. Again, this will be the last reading for tonight, unless we have someone who's ready to sign up for the Patreon, and then we'll keep going, and the person who signs up for the Patreon will help facilitate the next reading, and we'll go from there. So totally down to be able to, like, seriously, like, you guys could keep me up all night. I like bought like an energy drink. I'm ready to do like tarot all night. I'm confident we're gonna get that Patreon sign up, so stick around. We're gonna have a lot more readings ahead of us tonight. So let's get into this next reading. Thank you again, everyone. And a reminder for those of you already signed up on Patreon, even if you guys want to increase your pledge, we'll still do readings after that as well. So check the Patreon link down below. Links in the top corner for those of you on desktop. And yeah, let's get ready to dive into this next reading. And for those of you who are brand new, you can check out the Patreon later, but you're welcome to join our team chat and just be able to like check things out and see what it's like to be able to be a part of our team of conscious creators. We got really, really cool community. Okay, focusing on this reading. Everybody here, join us in this little meditation. So this is where we collectively focus our intention. So for everybody here, we're just going to shift it up. Thank you for those of you who are just joining, inviting you to join us in this meditation as we collectively focus our intention. And again, this is going to be with the intention of show us what we need to see for the entire team. So with that said, gently begin to bring awareness to your breath. Soft, gentle inhales. Soft, gentle exhales. Straighten up your spine, open up your chest, relax your face. With your hand on your heart, just bring yourself into the space of gratitude. Gratitude for the team, gratitude for the messages we are about to receive, gratitude for yourself for showing up to receive these messages. Continuing to stay with this gratitude in our heart for everybody here, focusing your attention on the intention, show us what we need to see. Show us what we need to see for both the collective, for the team, for the individual. Focusing on this intention, everybody here, for Pisces. Speak this intention with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Pisces, taking a few more moments here to breathe, listen to your intuition, and when you are ready, type now into the chat. Again, that's for Pisces is the name of the user. For everybody else who's not Pisces, gently open your eyes, continuing to focus on this intention. Show us what we need to see. Bring your awareness to the space around you and type your wizard noises in the chat. Here we go. We're just going to charge the deck up a little bit more. And oh, as the waters continue to unwind, as we continue to emerge through these many timelines, let us continue to truly realize and find that these treasures have always been standing right beneath us this entire time. And so the journey out is a journey in as we continue to realize where it all begins, because it is within the magic in the depth of our heart that we shall realize that this is the start of a new story that will change this land as we continue to awaken dreamers where we stand. Woo, 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 shoobity doobity doobity shoo. Those are your guys' voices. I'm just reading what you guys type out. You guys can just do it. And now, says Pisces in the chat. Whoa, I almost split the entire deck there. And we shall see what card the universe has. There's like one card underneath this one. That doesn't really happen very often. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Thank you so much, everyone, for your excitement. Okay. All right, okay. The card that we have pulled for this next reading for the entire collective, with Pisces helping facilitate, is Swords number 4. Swords number 4. So give me 2 seconds here. Just going to open this up. And as we're doing this, guys, good news. We did get our first Patreon sign up tonight. So thank you so much to Joshua. Joshua, thank you. I believe, Joshua, you're in the YouTube chat. I know you are. So Joshua, once you're there, oh, there he is. Joshua, go ahead and just let us know in the YouTube chat. You can just be like, hey, it's me, but I know I can already see the username. It's the same username. Everybody here, let's give a nice warm welcome to Joshua, who just joined at the $11 level, the leading member level on Patreon. And again, for those of you who are regular Patreon supporters, like, yeah, like, be like, welcome, 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 because that's what we're doing here. We're building a team. So again, I know it's like kind of new for a lot of you, but we're just like building up the hype for the team and inviting you guys to be able to connect further. So if you dig what we're doing here, know that it's much more than just tarot. This is us building a team of shifters. Again, I've been creating conscious media online for over 10 years, and as well as facilitating community for over 10 years. And we got a really, really cool team here, like a really, 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 really unique, powerful team here. And it's going to be one of those teams where if you connect like through our Patreon and join, like this may be something that like you may be a part of for as long as you choose. Like there's people here who have already been a part of this community for like over 7 years. Like AJ's been involved in this community since like before 2012, just as an example. So again, if you guys are looking for that really, really meaningful community and you guys enjoy my content and you want to even be able to be supported as a conscious creator, then be sure to check out the Patreon where you can learn more about becoming a leading member. And again, at the very least, anybody, you're welcome to join our team chat and join on the Discord server. That's our Discord server. And you can see things there. And then once you join on Patreon, you'll get access to the full chat. Joshua, thank you so much. Updated the information on screen. You can see now, guys, we're currently at 188, working towards our next target goal of 196. Again, my goal is to be able to reach 200 by the end of the month. So let's work on, like, seriously, guys, like, keep me up all night. Like, keep me up all night. Let's get as many signups as we can, and let's just do as many readings as we can and build the team and pump people up. So with that said, we're going to get right into this reading, and then we're going to get into the next reading, and Joshua's going to help facilitate that, and that might be with the Lightworker Oracle deck. So stick around. We got lots more to do. Thank you again, Pisces. Pisces is one of our Patreon supporters already. And with that said, gonna look at the image here, the card. We're going to flow through this one, and then we'll get right into the next one. So awesome. Yeah, guys, regulars, please feel free to hype up the community. Like, please feel free to be like, yo, this is like such a powerful community, and just invite other people. And yeah, it's a really, really cool team. All right, okay, here we go, team. So just going to touch upon this here, but we'll keep an eye open for any next Patreon sign up. Let's work on getting our next Patreon sign up by 11/11. Before 11/11, let's aim to get our next Patreon sign up. So 189. Who's going to be the 189 Patreon supporter? 4 of Swords. For those of you on TikTok or on Instagram, click the link in my profile, tune in on YouTube now. That way so you can like see the camera, because I'm showing it to the YouTube, and Instagram, it's like second camera. Okay. 4 swords. So we've got 4 swords floating in the sky, all pointing in opposite directions. They're semi-transparent. Just kind of like, you can see the clouds behind them, mountains down below, valley down below, one pointing up, left, right, down, kind of in the shape of like the 4 directions or a compass. Again, you can see on TikTok and Instagram there as well. And other than that, there's really not too much to be able to explain with this. It's kind of like some branchy fractal patterns in the clouds. But again, that's just a literal image. That's not me. Like, that's not like the symbolism of it. That's just me literally explaining it. Now we're going to dive a little bit deeper. Awesome. Thank you again for those of you hyping it up. Thank you, Pinox. Thank you, Solomon. Thank you, AJ. Regan, thank you for joining as well. Okay, team, here we go. If you're here, this message is for you. Ahem. Again, I'm gonna kind of like activate my my wizard voice, so allow yourself to just be open to receiving. Okay, here we go. Four of Swords, the image. Hinting at the form of a cross, four glass swords hover before an opening in the sky, pointing to the different directions. Meaning, the Four of Swords points to finding the pathway to inner truth. This can be through decoding the unconscious, interpreting dreams, or reflecting upon the value of past experiences and their evaluation for future undertakings. Whichever form is chosen, it has the goal of returning a state of natural order. Anything I read, if it resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat and prepare to write out an affirmation based on the teaching of this card. So this is you showing up as the student. Pay attention. We're in class right now. Take notes if you need to, or chill out. Do yoga. Do art while you're watching. Whichever form is chosen, it has the goal of returning to a state of natural order. The conditions for this are an inner collection and concentration. To achieve this state, inner peace is necessary. In order to recall inherent powers and make use of their possibilities, once set free, mental powers can be activated to work against the negative effects of worry and fear. I'm going to reread that. That's super key. Once set free, mental powers can be activated to work against the negative effects of worry and fear. If the inner call to peace and recuperation is ignored, it can be that the body reacts with sickness. I'm going to reread that again. If the inner call to peace and recuperation is ignored, it can be that the body reacts to sickness. To support the process of becoming more conscious, it is meaningful to use current gifts and talents constructively. These consist of, among other things, the ability to write, to teach, and to differentiate. If inner actions are brought into the light of the conscious thinking, a clear boundary is made to the outer world. Astrological significance. Mercury, Neptune, square aspects. Keywords: meditation, reflection, dream interpretation, order, finding oneself, awareness, processes, organizational abilities. Traditional meaning: standstill, limitation, pause, gathering new strength, forced rest, planning phase. Okay, let's get ready to dive into this one. Okay, so message behind this one, it's pretty concise actually. The message here is really about being able to make sure that we're taking the time to rest, especially before moving into something else. Being able to kind of like take opportunities within our day-to-day life to really bring ourselves back to that center, to cultivate more awareness, and to be able to gather new strength as we get ready to move into the next phase. This card is essentially just a card that's really inviting us to be able to practice meditation, practice mindfulness, and to develop that place of just like inner coherence between the mind and the heart, to be able to bring more consciousness to our unconscious habits, and to be able to tap into more of our inherent powers, to be able to tap into more of our apparent abilities. You are a very creative person. You are a very artistic person. However, if your mind is kind of like constantly, and this is where this card actually echoes off of the previous card that we had. If you listen to the previous card, this card actually kind of like expands on it, where again, if your mind is already kind of like preoccupied with things that are just kind of like draining your focus and draining your attention, then you're also basically draining your focus and attention from developing your gifts, from developing your inner powers. And again, those are going to be your powers to be able to help like bring art and creativity into the world. And so again, with this card is really about being able to understand that the body is in a constant state of being able to return back to harmony. But usually what we need to do is we need to be able to create a conscious level of awareness where we can become aware of where we may be in our own way. And so this is a really powerful card that's inviting us to be able to get into the habit of regular reflection, to be able to get into the habit of looking deeply within ourselves rather than moving left, right, up, or down. This is a card that's kind of just saying, before you go anywhere, bring yourself into the center, bring yourself into the heart, and then move into what you're going to do. This is why, again, it's super powerful. And again, for those of you who may be new, you guys are invited to this. We do team meditations regularly, Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when we do this, the intention is to be able to help bring ourselves to center first thing in the morning. And then we carry that centeredness with us throughout our day. Otherwise, it's not uncommon for people to literally just kind of like start their day with a little bit of a funk and then carry that funk with them throughout the rest of the day. So in the same way, you can start your day with a little bit of a funk. This is basically saying that if you start your day with a little bit of coherence, then that's also going to be able to help like amplify what it is that you're continuing to bring with you into the next part of your day. So with this card, it's really inviting us to be able to observe from that place of stillness and to use that place of stillness to gather strength. And this card, the other big thing with this is really being able to encourage us to make sure that to understand that if we don't rest, our body will literally force us to rest. So if you don't get into the habit of resting, then you will literally, like, your body will respond with sickness, or there will be some kind of universal situation that will unfold that will like force you to slow down. You know, like how many people have actually seen this where like, you know, they're going and they're just going and they're not really taking care of themselves. And again, no shame in this. It's just a reality of life. But if you're like consciously ignoring the fact that you need rest, and like your soul's just like, hey, like, don't forget to rest, like you're going pretty fast, you're gonna burn out, don't forget to rest, and you just keep going, and then eventually, like, for some reason you like stub your toe, and then you literally have to like stop for a bit or something like that, like you like sprain your ankle or something like that, be like crap, or you literally get sick, you literally kind of get sick. So this is about being able to understand that don't just create this habit where you're just like going, because if you just keep going, like, eventually you're gonna get burnout. You're literally gonna reach burnout. So I've talked about this before, where like 2020, to the best of our abilities, should be like the year of no burnout, where you work, and then you rest, work, and then you rest, work, and then you rest, and you realize that rest is actually a part of the work. So with this card, I'm just gonna go on this just for a couple more moments, and then we'll move on to Joshua's card, where it's like, how much would your life actually change if you were to literally just like meditate once on the hour or something like that, you know, literally just taking that opportunity to kind of like bring yourself back to a place of rest and a place of gathering new perspectives and gathering observation. And this is where, again, you know, I've kind of, some of you have heard me talk about this before, where, you know, even like my grandfather would even talk about the idea that if he was like working on a project or something like that, like my grandfather was like a doctor and a philosopher. If he was like working on a project and he would kind of reach a point where he'd feel like there was a block, instead of just trying to like push through it, he would actually like step away from it, and then like go take a nap, rest, and then when you kind of come back to it, you have that additional clarity, be like, oh, that's okay, there we go, now I have it, right? So within this stillness, we kind of open ourselves up to receive. However, if we're constantly going all the time, we're not really capable of receiving. The universe could literally be trying to send us messages, could be trying to send us subtle hints, our guides could be talking to us, but if we're going all the time, we're not listening. It's hard for us to be able to hear those messages when like the line's always busy, and the line's always busy because we're constantly kind of either, you know, unconsciously focusing on something outside of ourselves, filling ourselves with a fascination, a distraction. So forced rest. And again, from forced rest, there is also the planning phase. What happens, just as an example, when you take that opportunity first thing in the morning to just be able to like plan out a little bit of your day, even if it's just like the intention that you carry with you in your heart, that goes a long way. So what happens when we start making that a regular thing? And again, just kind of like hitting upon just a couple other things here. Yeah, it's really important to be able to understand that when we get into that habit of developing mindfulness, developing meditation, that will actually help accelerate our work process. Instead of just like grinding on things, if you work on something for a bit, take a bit, and then work on it more, you actually regain your strength, and then you continue to go a little bit further. So it's being able to, it's kind of like the tortoise and the hare. And the other thing I'll just say in terms of the tortoise and the hare, why did the tortoise win in that race against the tortoise and the hare? Why did it win? Do you guys know why it won? Like, do you really know why the tortoise won between the race between it and the hare? I'll tell you why it won, and you might not even have thought about this before, but I'll tell you exactly why the tortoise won. The tortoise won because it knew who it was. It wasn't trying to be the hare. The tortoise was a tortoise, and it was only being a tortoise, and therefore don't compare your speed to others. Don't try to rest and go if that's what somebody else is doing all the time. Go at your speed. Go at your pace. And when you get good at being able to cultivate meditation and mindfulness, you'll become more familiar with what your ideal pace is. And there may be days where you might just kind of be like, actually, you know what? Like, I don't even need to rest today. I'm just going to keep on going. I got momentum going. But then if you're listening to yourself and you're constantly in that place of self-awareness, you'll allow your body to be able to communicate clearly, okay, after this, time to rest. And not even just rest, but literally just what do you need in general? What do you need in general? And that could literally be like, okay, I need food. That's an obvious one. But sometimes it can be like, okay, I need to be able to go connect with nature. Okay, I need to be able to like go connect with like a friend to be able to have some social engagement. I need to be able to go get some fresh air. Sometimes I just need water, right? Sometimes I need a good sleep. Sometimes I need a good meal, whatever it may be. Sometimes you need exercise, all those basics. So getting really good at being able to cultivate a bit of a practice of meditation and mindfulness, bringing ourselves back to that center before we start moving out in all directions is the next part of our work, and being able to provide ourselves a little bit of that foresight and that higher perspective as we move into the next steps of whatever tasks that we have before us. So super, super, super cool card. Again, before you start moving off in all directions, practice bringing yourself to center to be able to cultivate that energy that you'll need and to be able to cultivate that higher awareness that will give you more of an advantage as you move into the next steps, whatever they may be, helping others or helping yourself and helping others. And again, also being able to open yourself more to that ability to be a channel and a conduit for service and for creativity and for art and for inspiration. So beautiful. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. Drop an 1111 in the chat if you haven't already yet. Let me know if that resonates with you and leave a little affirmation. And then we're going to get right into our next reading for Joshua. So, yeah, Sarah says, I come from a family that's all about work. I'm realizing I'm a human being, not a human doing. True that. Sending you lots of love, Sarah. Thank you so much. And thank you again, everybody, for just being so supportive and caring in the chat. Joshua leaving an affirmation. I will take time to rest in order to help my awakening fire on all cylinders. Very well said, Joshua. I think that's a great way of being able to put it as well. Any other affirmations? Go ahead. Evelyn, I will take time to cultivate my self-awareness. Beautiful. Yeah, so a little affirmation for myself. I honor my body's need to rest in order for my mind to expand. I see more in stillness than I do in constant movement. So my little affirmation there. Thank you so much, everyone. Go ahead, leave your other affirmations down in the chat. And again, as you leave an affirmation, that's like you being able to tell your body that you were listening. It's like you telling, like it's you working as a student, acknowledging that you just heard something that was valuable to you, and then beginning to embody it and incorporate it. So Swords 4, thank you so much, Pisces, for helping facilitate that. Let's get ready to move into our next reading here. I'm just going to take one little moment here. We're going to get ready to move into this next reading. And any other affirmations, go ahead and leave those in the chat. We'll read those on screen. Joshua, for your facilitation, would you like to use the Lightworker Oracle deck or the Ananda Tarot deck? Ananda Tarot deck's what we just used. Lightworker Oracle deck is pretty cool. It's like a little bit more like specific and symbolic related to like the Lightworker mythos. Cool. All right, team. I'm just going to take a moment here just to be able to rest as I get ready to be able to jump into the next reading. And any other affirmations, leave those in the chat. We're almost at 11, so let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up as we're doing this one. And again, this will either be the last reading for tonight, but if you guys are ready to be able to keep going, then go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. And as I'm saying that, we literally have a new Patreon sign up as I'm saying that. Thank you so much to Simon, who just signed up for the Patreon at the $5 level. And once Simon is in the chat, we'll congratulate Simon. So just hold off for 1 second. We'll make sure that they're in the chat. And Simon, go ahead and let us know when you're in the chat. And Joshua is saying, let's do the Lightworker Oracle deck. I agree. I feel like it's time for us to do the Lightworker Oracle deck. And just 2 seconds here. I'm just switching out the batteries on my light guardian crystal to be able to play with that. So all right, light guardian crystal engage. Choo 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 choo. I like using these as like a little spaceship. And they change colors too. You can see that. All right. Okay. Other affirmations that were in the chat. I'm just gonna read those, and then we're gonna get right into our next reading. Jay says, "I do not need to lose myself in my worries. I can always choose. I am doing the best I can with all I have. I am enough." Very well said, Jay. Thank you again for joining, Jay, assuming if you're new as well. Regan, "I will take time to rest so I can move forward with strength for new things coming into my life." Beautiful. Good job, everyone. Yeah, let's really commit to that. You know, like it's possible for you to live without burnout. It's possible. You know, like burnout doesn't just happen. We have signs way ahead of time. But obviously it's going to be relative, and for those of you who are just experiencing burnout, no shame in that, because I'm sure your energy is greatly appreciated and going to where you need to go. So thank you everyone for just showing up where they need to be, and know that we as a community are here to be able to support you. So, all right, let's get ready to move into this next reading. This is going to be with the Lightworker Oracle deck. And Simon, if you're in the chat, go ahead and let us know. I'm not exactly sure where Simon is in the chat just yet. Okay, just making sure I didn't miss any affirmations there. And let's get right into this reading. I'm just gonna update the on-screen information here real quick. So that puts us at 189. And thank you again to Simon and our other recent supporters, Joshua, Amia Lee, and Megan as well, and Anthony before that. All right, team, let's get ready to move into this next reading. And for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, if you guys want to click the link in my profile, you can join in on YouTube. And again, let's work on getting the next Patreon sign up. I would say by about 11:30. If we can aim for 11:30, we'll do that. But again, after this one, we'll go right into Simon's. Awesome, Simon, thank you so much for adding your support onto the Patreon. Guys, let's give a nice warm welcome to Simon, who's joined at the who's joined at the $5 level on the Patreon. And for Joshua, make sure you're connected to the team chat. For Simon, make sure you're connected to the team chat. And again, Simon, you're always welcome to be able to change your Patreon in whatever way works for you. So if you want to be able to just scout things out and then join as a leading member later on at the $11 level, that's totally an option. And again, Joshua, make sure you drop a comment in the chat if you'd like to be involved as a leading member. Some people join the Patreon, they don't like, they're not actually involved as leading members. Like, they're literally just joining and just like adding their contribution. So don't think that like being a leading member is something that's like a job that you have to do. Even as leading members, there's no expectation. Like, it's just space and opportunity to utilize. And again, for those of you who may be new, if you're new here, drop a 333 into the comments. For those of you on TikTok, join the link in my profile to be able to join in. Sending you guys so much good vibes. We're about to get into this next reading. And if you guys haven't yet, go ahead and check out the Patreon. That's where you can join with a monthly contribution. Join at the $11 level to join as a leading member in our community, which gives you full access to our private team chat to support you as a conscious creator. And with that said, let's get right into this next reading. And again, we'll work on getting the next Patreon sign up by 11:30. We're going to do one for Joshua, then we're going to do one for Simon, and then we're going to go from there. So yeah, if we can reach like, I don't know, what do you guys think? Okay, what should be our goal tonight for the Patreon? You guys tell me. Like, if we commit to this, then I won't go to sleep until we reach whatever goal you guys set for me. So 192, 193, what do you guys feel? So all right, let's get into this. Joshua. Yeah, so Joshua, you'll connect to the Discord and then leave a message in the Discord just being like, hey, it's Joshua. I would love to be added as a leading member. And then just make sure you read over the information about being a leading member as well. And if you have any questions, you can just let me know. You can even DM me on Instagram, or just I'll reply to you in the team chat as well. And you can do that afterwards. You don't have to do it right this second. So all right, guys, let's get ready to do this. Thank you again to those of you who may be new. Thank you to Jamie, and thank you to Regan. Glad you guys are here. And reminder, every Thursday, 8 p.m. EST, that's when we do our weekly team podcast. This week's podcast is going to be on the topic of spiritual wisdom of death and dying. So yes, the topic is a very, very real one, but don't think it will necessarily be like a sad, depressing, morbid talk. It will be also a very inspirational and enlightening talk, and one that is obviously very important, not just literally talking about physical death, but also metaphorical and symbolic death. So that's going to be really, really cool. So and also my dad's gonna be in that podcast. Like so many, you guys haven't like met my dad yet, so you'll get to hear his booming wizard voice. So, all right, Joshua, let's get ready to do this. Thank you again, everyone, and yeah, let's get ready to drop into that meditative state. Last thing, August 27th, for everybody here, you guys are invited to join our special global meditation and community panel on envisioning our future. And that's at 8 p.m. EST on August 27th, which is like the big date, which just happens to be on our podcast day. So it worked out perfectly. Huzzah! So I planned this. I'm from the future. Some of you already know that. Time traveler or something like that. Time traveling wizard. Aren't we all? So, all right. Let's get ready to move into this. And just keeping an eye here. Beautiful. All right. Wonderful. Da, 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 da. All right, team. Moving into this next reading, thank you again, Joshua. Thank you again, Simon. If you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. Let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up by 11:30. For Joshua, you're ready? For everybody here, using the Lightworker Oracle deck, this is going to be a good one. For everybody here, when you're ready, gently drop into your heart space. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile and tune in on YouTube now. Go ahead. So for everybody here, just go ahead and connect with your breath. Soft, gentle inhales. And soft, gentle exhales. Just straightening up your posture, opening your chest, relaxing your face. Just taking a moment here to bring yourself into the space of gratitude. Gratitude for showing up, gratitude for the messages we are about to receive, gratitude for yourself, gratitude for the team. Holding this gratitude in your heart, everybody here, just taking a moment to meditate with us, focusing your intention towards the intention of show us what we need to see. Focus your attention towards the intention, show us what we need to see. We being the collective, we being the team, we being the individual. Speak that intention, show us what we need to see. Speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Joshua, take a few more breaths here, focusing on this intention. Listening to your intuition. When you're ready, type now into the chat and then we'll split the deck. For everybody else, gently opening your eyes, continuing to focus your awareness on that intention. Type your wizard noises in the chat. The best wizard noises ever. You guys are getting good at this. And let's charge the deck a little bit more and we'll wait for that now to come in. Here we go. And oh, as the story continues to unwind through the many corridors of infinite time, through this hallway of mirrors that allow us to see the infinity that has been hidden within plain sight between you and me. And so, as the story continues to unfold, may we bring forth this wisdom that is infinitely old, that is rooted within the heart of our very soul, that allows us to share the truth of this goal. And as Joshua types now into the chat, we shall split the deck and see what card the universe has. All right, okay, let's get ready to dive into this one. Ooh, this is a new one. I love when this happens. This deck is like still a deck that I haven't read all the cards on air for. I haven't read this one on air before, so this is a new one. So get ready, team. This is like a premier card reveal right now. So the card that we have pulled for the team, again, for anybody here, if you guys are tuned in, these are team readings. So if you're here, this is for you. So no one has to ask for an individual reading. This is all team readings. The card that we have pulled is card number 3. The third ray of creative intelligence. Card number 3, the third ray of creative intelligence. Take a look at that, just showing you there for those of you on Instagram and TikTok. For those of you on TikTok, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube with the rest of the team. And I'm going to open up to the book here, and then I'm going to explain to you the visual image, and then we're going to go through this. And then after this one, we'll get right into our next reading for Simon as well. So thank you again, everyone. Oh, and thank you for the wizard noises. I didn't read your guys' wizard noises out loud that time because it happened quicker. Zoom, zoom, vom, vom, push, woof, 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 woof. Like, okay. All right, this one looks super cool. Again, I haven't read this one, so this is a bit of a treat. So here we go. Explaining this card visually, what do we got? We've got this beautiful image of this kind of like, it's a woman, but you can see she's kind of like cracked. It almost kind of looks like almost like a porcelain doll, but it's kind of like almost like a husk. There's one way to interpret it. And then you can see there's kind of like this like spirit literally emerging from her symbolically. This like literal like light being just coming out of her, surrounded by butterflies. Again, just incredibly beautiful image there. Kind of like out over in I guess it just look like it's kind of like the desert. It almost looks like another planet in a sense. And the sky behind it's got some purples either at sunset or sunrise. And you can see there's like a tree, and the tree's actually got no leaves on it, which I assume will probably be a part of the analogy here. But the image itself, you can see it's obviously kind of like the soul, the higher self, the liberated creative expression of this being, of this person. And you can see they're kind of like got like some flower things going around them, and they got their gaze up towards the light kind of shining down. Super powerful image. So again, that's just me explaining the literal aspects of it. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the information in the book, and then I'll do some additional channeling of creative inspiration for you guys. When I say channeling, I'm not like channeling aliens right now. It's just like getting into the zone and just talking and coming from the heart. So, and by me doing this, again, literally by me doing this, I hope this like gives you inspiration to even do tarot yourself, or like begin doing your own tarot broadcasts, especially for the leading members. I love to see you guys do more tarot broadcasts. I totally support it. So let's dive into this. Thank you again, everyone, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram. Click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. We got about 20 people tuned in on YouTube. You guys are awesome. We're going to roll through this one. We'll keep an eye open for new Patreon signups as we go. And for everybody here, again, this reading is for you. If you're tuned in, this message is for you. Activating wizard voice now. Here we go. Excuse me. Number 3. Third ray of creative intelligence. The third ray of creative intelligence brings the gift of practical spirituality and develops the talent for grounding inspired creativity into the world. It empowers your manifestation. This ray brings many gifts, including new ideas and the practical support needed to bring them to life. The ability to organize, make connections and networks, and synthesize information from various sources into one coherent whole. Archangel Chamuel, 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 helps you receive this gift from the universe with love and intelligence. As I'm reading this, anything I say, if it resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat and get ready to write out some affirmations relative to the message here. For those of you on TikTok, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube with the rest of the team. Here we go. The third ray of creative intelligence will help you gain practicality to organize and manifest an idea or vision in the world. It gives you the drive and the means to implement your plans. This, again, just taking a moment here, like hyping this up around the idea that this entire broadcast is about building a team of conscious creators and leaders. Yeah, I think this card's for us. This card is basically telling us to like get that creative stuff and get it out there. So here we go. Okay, diving deeper. Let's keep going. When this ray is active in our lives, we want to take action, bring something to life, not just to know or feel, but to do. With this oracle comes a message about taking action and believing that even the most inspired and spiritual ideas can have practical purpose in the world. Your visions and ideas can and should be worked with so they can manifest. You must believe in your capability and competence, your confidence and practical, down-to-earth common sense. And even if these are not always your strongest qualities. The angel was Chamuel, Chamuel. Someone can type that. Yeah. Oh, it auto-corrected to Archangel Chameleon. That's why I was confused there. So thank you, Jamie, for dropping that into the chat. Okay, I'm just going to go back a second here. With this oracle comes a message about taking action and believing that even the most inspired and spiritual ideas can have practical purpose in the world. Your visions and ideas can and should be worked with so they can manifest. You must believe in your capability and competence, your confidence and practical, down-to-earth common sense, even if these are not always your strongest qualities. If you doubt your ability to achieve all that you dream of, remember that sometimes the universe puts dreams in our hearts to help us develop strengths that are dormant within us. I'm going to reread that again. If you doubt your ability to achieve all that you dream of, remember that sometimes the universe puts dreams in our hearts to help us develop strengths that are dormant within us. Yo, that's super powerful. We'll go back to that. This can bring to life a whole new slew of abilities and talents we didn't know we had. We are given nudges to live in life to discover what we are made of, which can be so much more than what we might have initially believed. Again, this card is kind of echoing off the last card for those of you who are here for that one and the one before that. The challenge with this ray is to take it one step at a time. Allow the universe to find the patience, persistence, and sense of humor that will help you stick to the purpose of creation. Do not try to do too much at once, nor allow your projects to get too complicated. Above all, do not give up before you have finally brought your inner light to life in the world. Archangel Shamuel, brings the gift of reclaiming lost energy, ideas, and talents that can help you fulfill your divine potential. The Archangel helps you reawaken talents from this or other lifetimes that may have been cast aside. Perhaps your intuitive healing energy was put to one side as you studied or tended to family responsibilities. Perhaps your business sense or your ability to market yourself in a soulful and loving way is yet to be discovered. Maybe an ability to teach or the clear, confident voice of a writer is within you, waiting to be developed. This Archangel will help you find and apply with loving confidence whatever talents and abilities are required to turn your aspirations into manifestations. As this ray has a special connection with business, you are asked to remain open to learning and growing through financial success. This ray can help heal the tension that many feel between spirituality and financial abundance. It helps us recognize that the spirit feels joy in successful physical world endeavors, particularly those that serve love. When a situation is a win-win for all involved, there is no reason at all to hold back from material success. It can be celebrated and enjoyed, whilst you maintain the true motivation for your work, which is love. Okay, give me 1 second here. All right. This is a good one. For those of you on TikTok, click the link in my profile to tune in on YouTube. Excuse me. Let me just try that again. For those of you on TikTok, click the link to tune in on YouTube. If you guys are tuning in on TikTok, tune in on YouTube so you can see the card properly, because I'm showing it to the YouTube camera. So if you're on TikTok, click the link in my profile, tune in on YouTube. That's the primary chat. Okay, so this is a super interesting card and a really, really relative card for us to be able to receive, especially considering the community of what it is that we are building. This is actually stuff that we were actually talking about in one of our recent team meetings and one of our collaborative work periods that we do for the week for our leading members and everything like that. And excuse me as I just continue to to hype up the team that we're building, but it's totally relevant. Because again, with this card is being able to really honor this idea that each and every single one of us has these creative gifts and these creative abilities within inside of us. Some people will relate to these gifts in different ways. Some people will literally just continue to explore them in a way that may be purely just for enjoyment and purely just as a hobby and everything like that. Others will feel called to be able to really commit to these creative gifts and sharing these creative gifts as a little bit more of a devotion. And if we are committing to it as a devotion, what would it take and what would it feel like to be able to be supported in financial support to continue to be able to do that? And so I think, again, with this card, even though it's not like the first and primary focus of this card, it really does bring us into this place of being able to receive permission and knowing that there are ways to be able to balance the sharing of our creative gifts in alignment with our spiritual virtues, with our spiritual morals, with our spiritual intentions of serving people, while still doing it in a way where we can be open to receiving financial support and abundance. This is the important part, so that we can continue to serve. Being able to honor your value and honor your worth is a huge part in being able to share, again, your creative intelligence. So this isn't simply about being able to unlock your creative abilities. This is about being able to bring your creative abilities and then to be able to create like a system in which you can continue to thrive and share them further out into the world, knowing that your creative talents are what is needed for this world, because your creative talents are essentially the medium for the message, and the message is love. The message is love. So with this card, this is a card that's kind of inviting us to even become aware of self-limiting beliefs that we may have, which basically have been an old paradigm that says like, oh, you know, like I can't do spiritual things and get paid for it or something like that. Whereas again, you know, like what is spiritual, what isn't spiritual? You're helping people, you're supporting people, you're inspiring people, you are giving something that is helping lead them back to your heart. Don't worry about calling it spiritual. You're doing something that is simply human. You're doing something that is human, something that is healing, something that is needed, and something that is medicine, something that is water for a thirsty world. Your creative gifts are water for a thirsty world. So with this card, it's really being able to invite us to be able to understand and nurture the creative talents that are inside of us with a little bit of steps at a time, with a little bit of water every single time. And obviously being able to find yourself in a place where you're surrounded with other people is absolutely going to help support this. Doing it on your own as you continue to do these creative endeavors can be very taxing on you, especially if you're not kind of receiving the additional moral support, the additional vocalization from people who are engaging with the expressions of your creative gifts. Like, for example, say you're sitting there with someone and say it's like, you know, it's like it's a person who's just maybe starting to draw for the first time. It could be a younger person, it could be someone at any age. And imagine the difference it would make for you to just be able to go up to them and just be like, hey, like I really love what you're doing there with the colors. Or I really like what you did there with the image and stuff like that. That was really cool. Keep it up, right? Think of how that would make them feel. Now think of how that would make you feel if you receive that in return, to be able to have that supportive community, but then also knowing that we can do this for ourselves as well. We can also make sure that we're continuing to motivate ourselves, because this is about being able to, again, build confidence practically in a down-to-earth common sense, and being able to understand that there may be qualities that we may have that are inside of us that are still waiting to be tapped into, that are still waiting to be actualized and utilized. And this is something that will continue to naturally reveal itself over time, so long as we continue to kind of pour water into that plant. So much as we continue to nurture and water those parts of ourselves, while still being very, very patient. And I love the idea that a lot of us, like our creative talents and abilities, could actually be things that are literally coming over from past lifetimes, you know, literally things that we've like developed in other parts of our soul's journey. And now here we are once again to be able to bring them into this lifetime, and understanding that, I like what it says here. This was a really cool idea that I was talking about earlier, where the universe puts dreams in our hearts to help us develop strength that are dormant within us. So say, for example, inside of you is the power to be able to be a strong speaker or to be able to lead people in meditation. Therefore, if you had a dream to be able to lead people in meditation, ultimately that would move you towards further being able to develop your ability to lead people in meditation. You wouldn't have had that dream inside of you in the first place if that gift and that talent and that creative ability wasn't already there. So this card, I think one of the really, really important things, and again, drop those 1111s if anything I say is pumping you up and resonating. I think this is a very, very powerful card to really make sure that, again, with the other cards, we're making sure that we're taking time and space for ourselves to really listen to our own heart, to really be able to listen to our heart and to be able to listen to what our heart feels called to. Because when our heart feels called to something, that in itself is also pointing to the awareness that there are these particular gifts inside of us that correlate to the dream that we're moving towards. Again, you know, like that's why some people, they're just like, yeah, like I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I just knew that that's what I wanted to do. I just knew that I wanted to be a singer. Or I just knew that I wanted to be like some sort of like beautiful like dancer or something like that. And you have to start somewhere, right? You have to start somewhere. So this is about really being able to nurture the process while also understanding that these gifts that we're developing right now in the present already exist in the future from a non-linear sense. You know, reverse time theory, for those of you who are getting more familiar with me talking about that, where your ability to be able to share and express those gifts are already quite developed in the future, and you're kind of like arriving into that. You're kind of moving back into that space while continuing to become aware of any obstacles that you've created between yourself and that goal in the time. So as this ray has a special connection with business, you're asked to remain open to learning and growing through financial success. This ray can help you heal tension you may feel between spirituality and financial abundance. And yeah, again, I love that idea that you can like, there's nothing wrong with being able to connect with the material world in a way that is still continuing to serve you in serving others, right? Support and nurture yourself, and then you can continue to support others. Plus you can continue to share that abundance and that overflow as well. So I think right now, honestly, what the world needs are people, are conscious creators, are entrepreneurs, which is exactly what we're building in our community for our leading members. It's literally a team of conscious entrepreneurs, which, again, if that's something that excites you, you're invited to connect. But again, that's why the world needs more entrepreneurs to be able to find successful models in which they can share their gifts and also be supported in receiving support for those gifts, so that we can continue to share those gifts and perpetuate that cycle of inspiring others to be able to do the same. So just a couple other things with this card. This brings to life a whole new slew of abilities and talents that we didn't know we had. We are given nudges in life to discover what we are made of, which can be so much more than what we might have initially believed. So for those of you, wherever you are on your journey, if you feel like you're just kind of like, like, what am I good at? What am I good at? Like, take a moment to think about that. And there may have been a time in your life where you're just like, I don't really know what I'm good at. Like, am I good at this? Like, I'm not. Maybe I'm like, am I mediocre at everything? Like, no, that's impossible. Well, again, this card is reminding us that every single one of us has those creative gifts, has those forms of creative expression in front of us, inside of us. And that's where, again, as community, we really need to be able to support each other, and being able to explore and being able to play and being able to feel like you're in a safe space where you can practice expressing that. Literally, we were talking about this today during our meeting, where we were talking about TikTok tactics for conscious creators, where Morphic, who I don't think Morphic's in here right now, but literally Morphic, again, was just kind of like, through our encouragement as a team, started doing new content on TikTok. They didn't even know they were going to do that. And now it's like unlocked this like new level of ability and self-awareness and self-actualization within them. So shout out to Morphic, So again, I think we've pretty much hit upon the main things with this, but again, this is about being able to bring your creative talents into the world around you, but not just simply in expressing them, but being able to kind of create the space that's intelligently going to allow you to keep expressing them. So this is about the cultivation of that, and then to be able to understand that for those of you who feel called, honestly, I guarantee 100% that every single person here, once you continue to put focus towards that intention of being able to cultivate your gifts with the intention of being able to share them with the world and develop that like regenerative income or that support, that financial support, there is a reality that is there for each and every single one of us if we choose it. You just have to kind of get into that mindset of knowing that it already exists, knowing that it's already there, knowing that that reality is already in abundance. You just have to be able to know it, feel it, and move towards it, which again, it's like manifestation stuff. You guys know all about that. But again, for some of us, it won't be the case. For some of us, it'll be like, yeah, you know what? I'm actually pretty happy just working my other job, but I still like doing the creative stuff purely just as a hobby. And that's okay. That's okay too, right? Like, it's going to be a balance. But for those of us who really feel called to be able to make a devotion out of sharing our creative gifts, which again can be a variety of things. It can be creating videos, it can be digital art, it can be physical art, it can be writing, it can be poetry, it can be space holding, it can be guided meditation, it can be energy healing, it can be, all sorts of facilitation in all sorts of way, whatever it may be. There's really no limit to it. There is a path before you in which the universe will support you in being able to develop those gifts and share those gifts with others, because that is what this world needs. So again, kind of like the visual image here, we kind of want to be able to give permission for those creative expressions to be able to grow within us and then kind of be set out like on the winds so that they can reach more people and go where they may and kind of be free in this. So this card is really about being able to own your worthiness 100%, knowing that within you is the seed of the gifts that you came here to share. So that's a very powerful thing. And again, that's why as a community, what we got is like really valuable. Imagine just that idea of being able to wake up every day and knowing that you're connected with a team who are on the shared mission of developing their creative abilities intelligently and bringing them out into the world and being able to plant seeds and being able to build relationships and having that feedback and receiving that support and recognition of what it is that you're doing, and then just constantly moving into that. So super powerful card here. We're going to read this little invocation, and as I'm reading this, you can just imagine you're kind of saying it to yourself. And any affirmations, drop those in the chat. We'll read those on air. I know there's already a little bit, I think there's already a few affirmations in there, so I'm going to read those in a second. So invocation, imagine you're like hearing this, you're reading it to yourself. Invocation, I now accept of my own free will the blessing and grace of the third ray of creative intelligence. I thank the universe for all assistance in turning my spiritual aspirations into successful, practical, real world manifestations of light, grace, love, and empowerment. I gratefully receive the unconditionally loving intervention of Archangel Camuel to recover and express all talents and abilities meant to help me fulfill my mission. Thank you, universe, for helping me manifest my divine dreams. I ask in unconditional love that this may be made available to all who can benefit from it, according to divine wisdom, mercy, and compassion for the greatest good. So be it. So again, just wrapping up here, this card is really about being able to acknowledge and honor the dreams within our hearts, and then continuing to know that as we move towards that, the path is there. The path is there for us. And one of the best things you can do is to be able to connect with community of other people who are on that shared path of being able to cultivate their creative gifts. Obviously, this deck is like kind of specifically referring to in the context of light workers, conscious creators in that sense. So what gifts are you here to be able to share, and just be open to the idea that the gifts that you're cultivating within you are still something that you're getting to reveal. You're still some of you may be opening up to it, and you're actually beginning to realize what you're capable of as you simply move forward on the path of perhaps sometimes kind of moving outside of your comfort zone. And again, that's where having a community can be incredibly powerful, because we're here to support you. Yo, Slum. Slum, if you want to jump over to the YouTube chat, go ahead and click the link in my profile. We're tuned in on YouTube right now, and you're welcome to vibe with the team chat there. Again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, thank you guys so much for your comments. Click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube right now. And we're going to read some of the affirmations. So my affirmation is, I devote myself to following my dreams, cultivating my creative gifts, and continuing to move forward on paths which I will receive support as I continue to cultivate and share from a heart-centered space of service for others. Again, that's my little affirmation. That's a long affirmation. Again, go ahead, leave some affirmations in the chat. Again, this card is really about being able to cultivate our creative gifts, finding ways to be able to creatively express them with the world, inspiring others to do the same. And for those of us who really feel the call, being able to move into a place where, again, we're able to like do it as being able to being able to do it in a way where we're supported, like as an entrepreneur, which will continue to do it. Sorry, as I was doing that, one of my TikTok feeds just got banned for 10 minutes. I think someone reported me. I hate when that happens. Apparently, this is like side note. This is like stuff that happens every now and then. This is typical TikTok for you. Apparently, my TikTok live stream got banned for violence and harm. What does that even mean, right? Giving you guys like pro life tips here and everything like that. That just happens on TikTok sometime. All right, looks like I'm not going live on Project Airfont tonight. Okay. Thanks to whoever reported that live feed. So it happens. You just gotta move forward. That's okay. We're still broadcasting on my main profile on Mystic Spider-Man. Reading those affirmations down in the chat, Regan says, I am embarking on my journey into these new creative gifts, and to manifest these new traits that I am not aware of yet, I am taking more action and using my intuition to keep faith in the universe. Beautiful. I love that. Honestly, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for those of you who are still just kind of starting to tap into your creative gifts. And again, just seriously, just being around a community of other people who are doing that is one of the best things I can recommend, because just being in that space, it will naturally kind of happen. And we're here to support you. Again, that's where like me being here as like a conscious media creation coach, like I'll invite you into doing things outside of your comfort zone to challenge you as a creator, and just like holding that space as a team for all of us to be able to share our micro steps and our micro accomplishments as we continue to move up and continue to share our content. And again, so many of the creators who have already been involved as leading members, you guys have grown so much. You guys have already made like leaps and bounds in terms of the content that you're sharing and the confidence that you've cultivated. Joshua says, I will use my gifts and creative talents to manifest more love and light on this planet. Beautiful. Thank you again, Joshua, for helping us facilitate that reading as well. Evelyn, I will grow my self-confidence to attain my dream job. Good for you, Evelyn. Pisces, I own my worthiness as a conscious co-creator. Beautiful. Jay says, I understand and hold that my artistic expression has its place in the world. Beautiful. Well said, everyone. Good job. Good affirmations. Anybody else? If you guys have any other affirmations related to that card, which again was the third ray of creative intelligence, please feel free to leave those into the chat. And with that said, we're going to take a brief intermission, and then we're going to get ready to move into our next reading, which is going to be for Simon. And then again, we'll keep an eye open for another Patreon sign up. We'll be good. I'll be good to go after this one, guys. Again, this will be the reading for Simon. Go ahead, let us know you're in the chat. Let us know that you're ready. We'll move into this. And Simon, let us know if you would like to use the Ananda Tarot deck or the Lightworker Oracle deck. Which one would you like to use? Go ahead. The Ananda Tarot deck or the Lightworker Oracle deck? Lightworker Oracle deck was the one that we just did. And again, it's got a little bit more of like a specific vibe, specifically within the niche of Lightworkers. And just 2 seconds here. Just going to restart the Instagram feed. And once we confirm that, we'll get right into the next reading. And thank you again, everyone, for joining in. And we'll keep an eye open for the next Patreon sign up. Again, the next person who signs up on Patreon, you'll get to help facilitate the next reading. We all facilitate the reading. Again, it's like a team reading for those of you who are new. And then from there, we'll go, we'll do another reading after this. Again, this will be, if there's no new Patreon sign up after this, this will be the last reading for tonight. I'm totally down to keep going. I'd love to be able to keep going. What did you guys say? What do we want to reach on Patreon tonight? I asked you guys earlier, but I don't think I saw the comments. What should our target goal on Patreon be tonight? If you guys want to just be able to help manifest that. What do you say? Like 192? 192 probably sounds pretty doable. That means I would be up until however long. So, but again, this is work. Like this is multiple things of like me doing work to be able to build a Patreon, us holding space as a community to be able to build the team, us being able to cultivate inspiration to be able to share with you and to support you as a conscious creator. Really, really cool stuff. Thank you, Silamon, for jumping in. Thank you so much, brother, for joining and for being onto the Patreon. Simon is ready. Let's do the Lightworker Oracle deck again. Good call, Simon. Cheers to that. All right, team. Let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up as we're doing this reading, so that way we don't have to take any intermission, and we'll get ready to move right into the next one as well. So, beautiful. Yeah, I'll be doing more tarot readings throughout the rest of the month as well. Again, our goal is to reach 200 on Patreon support. So again, if you guys are a fan of my work, if you guys have been following me on TikTok, and you guys want to be able to connect further with the community, you're welcome to join our team chat. That's our Discord server. And then you can also connect further as a leading member by joining on Patreon. And then again, at the $11 level, you can join as a leading member. And that will give you access to the full team chat, access to our community of our team of conscious media creators. And we have a private community space. And you can also join our collaborative work periods that we do during the week, where we talk about TikTok tactics and help you build your Patreon if you choose. And you can also join our On Air Team podcast, gets a discount for the item shops, and have access to me as a conscious media creation coach, which I think I already mentioned. But cool. All right, team, let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up. Or if anybody on the Patreon, if you guys want to increase your pledge, you can do that. And then we'll keep going as well into the next reading. But let's focus on this one for now. And let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up. I would say by 11:45, let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up. So not too far away. And again, if you're ready to sign for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. Contributions only process on the first of each month. So even if you sign up now, it won't process till later, and it only takes about 5 minutes to sign up. Here we go. If you guys are new, drop a 333 in the chat. Let me know. Okay. All right. Okay, so for everybody here, let's get ready to drop into this meditative space. So thank you again, Simon, for adding your support onto the Patreon. Thank you again, everybody here. Go ahead and join us in this meditation as we get ready to move into this. For those of you on TikTok and for those of you on Instagram, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. And that way you can connect with the primary team chat there. And you can also find the Patreon link through my profile. And yeah, let's do this. Let's see what I'm excited to be able to see what card is next. Okay, here we go. Everybody here, just gently take a moment, close your eyes, begin connecting with your breath. Gentle inhales through the nose, gentle exhales through the nose and the mouth. Just bring yourself into a space of gratitude. Straighten up your posture, open your shoulders, relax your face. Holding this gratitude in your heart with your hand on your chest if you wish. Just allowing yourself to be in this space of gratitude for the messages we are about to receive, for the space we have created, for the team, this amazing team of light guardians, of shifters, light workers, conscious creators. And just gratitude for yourself for being here as a part of this team. Holding this gratitude in your heart for everybody here, for Simon, focusing your attention on the intention, show us what we need to see. We being the collective, we being the individual, we being the team. Continuing to focus on this intention for everybody. Speak this intention with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Simon, focusing on this intention, take a few more breaths here. Listen to your intuition, and when you are ready, open your eyes and type now into the chat. For those of you other than Simon, gently open up your eyes, continuing to focus on the intention, show us what we need to see. Go ahead and return your awareness to the space around you and type your wizard noises into the chat. And we're charging it up. Here we go. Here we go. And oh my goodness, the wizard in me sees and honors the wizard in thee. For as we continue to work with these cards, may we bring down the wisdom that is hidden within the stars that are inside, the stars that ignite within each and every firefly. For we are the stars here on this earth, for we are here to bring about this rebirth, to shine our light across the land and to show others how to change the world where they stand. For we are dreamers awakening within the dream, and we are here to change this world into new ways of being. Now, says Simon, as we pull the card from the chat, wizard noises, and pulling the card there. Beautiful. All right. Okay. Very cool. The next card that we have pulled on behalf of Simon, but for anybody here, if you are tuned in, this message is for you. This card is for you. This is a team reading. This is how we do it. The card that we have pulled is card number 25, Merkaba Spiritual Protection. Card number 25, Merkaba Spiritual Protection. Give me 2 seconds here. We're going to open up the book here, and I'm going to read from the book, and then we're going to channel some additional creative inspiration related to the message here. Thank you again, everyone. Just if you guys are enjoying yourself, if you guys appreciate the broadcast and appreciate the energy, go ahead and drop an 1111 in the chat just to be able to send some love. These take a lot of energy. I mean, you guys see, like, obviously I'm used to it by now, but this is like an endurance thing. Like, this is like me talking and entertaining for like several hours on end, but I've trained myself to do this. This is my gift that I share with us as a team, and I love doing it. I love doing it. I really, really do. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. Let's dive into this next reading. Let's keep an eye on that Patreon. Let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up. Again, once we have a next Patreon sign up, we'll go right into the next reading. And again, from there, we'll there we go. So again, we'll go right into this reading. We'll keep an eye on the Patreon, and once we have another person sign up for the Patreon, we'll go right into the next reading. And again, for anybody on Patreon, if you guys want to upgrade your pledge, we can still do a next reading. So again, I got enough energy to do. After this one, I'll probably go grab an energy drink, and then we'll keep going. If there's another person sign up for the Patreon, either way, let's continue to move through this. So thank you again, everyone, for being here and visually explaining the card. For those of you on TikTok, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube so you can join the primary camera and you can see, because I'm like showing it to the YouTube camera. So for those of you on TikTok, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube with the rest of the team. Here we go. Okay. Number 25, Merkaba's Spiritual Protection. This is a super powerful image. Like, I'll just let you kind of like look at that image there for a second. For those of you on TikTok, again, you guys can see it there too. So this image here, what do we have here? We have this image of this woman who's kind of sitting there with this like shield bubble around her and this really kind of like psychedelic waves kind of expanding behind her. For those of you on TikTok, click the link in my profile to see the card properly, and because you can join on YouTube. And you can see there's like this beautiful purple energy. You can see this beautiful purple light coming from the center of her heart, and the image in the backdrop there behind her, you can literally see this like it almost kind of reminds me of Atlantis, this like other world, and there's like this giant version of her as like a giant face in the sky, which looks really cool. And again, I'm just explaining the literal stuff. I'm just literally explaining the literal stuff right now. And you can see there's kind of like little candles down by her seating, down by her floor there. She's in a very meditative space. This very serene look on her face. And yeah, just that beautiful golden color coming off of that higher version of herself. It's almost as if her higher self is the sun or something, how you choose to interpret it. And you can see the reflections right down the water. You can see this water running through. There's like a river kind of running in between the two sides. And again, the sides, you can see it's like ancient kind of like architecture there as well. So super, super cool stuff. Okay, for those of you on TikTok, click the link in my profile now to be able to join in on YouTube. We're going to keep rolling through this. We'll keep our eyes open for the next Patreon. Again, this will either this will be the last reading, or if we get someone new signed up for the Patreon or a person upgrading their Patreon, then we'll keep going. And either way, let's just focus in on this one now. Patreon links in the YouTube info, and it's also in the chat, and it's also in my profile link. For those of you on TikTok, click the link in my profile to be able to join in. Yo, Bogey, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you, Paul Boggy. Click the link in my profile, tune in on YouTube. Okay, here we go. If you're here, this message is for you. Wizard voice activate. Choo, 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 choo. Number 25. Merkaba spiritual protection. Being open to receive is a way to gain empowerment, strength, and all manner of assistance. To enhance receptivity, it can be helpful to declutter and cleanse your energy field. This allows for that which is not rightfully yours to shed. Sometimes this will include the disowned thoughts and feelings of others. When you realize these thoughts and feelings, when you release these thoughts and feelings, a spaciousness will grow within you. Then you can receive more of what is rightfully meant to be for you, your divine good in all ways. As I'm reading this, if you guys resonate with anything I say, drop an 1111 in the chat and get ready to write out an affirmation based on the lesson that we share. For those of you who are joining, if you just joined, if you're new, drop a 333 in the chat. And for those of you regulars, feel free to welcome them. Let's dive deeper. An open, sensitive person can easily become energetically overloaded. From physical pain to emotional, psychological tension, an overload does not feel good. You may even feel like you are carrying others on your back or in your head. The added weight can drag your naturally light vibration down into anguish, doubt, fear, or despair. Your inner vision too may be obstructed by the overload. That can make it hard to discern what is yours and what belongs to another. Whether experiencing overload to your system is an unusual occurrence for you, or you have a tendency to absorb the process and others' energies, common for healers, psychics, and mediums, artists, and other sensitive open people. You will benefit from a spiritual cleansing. Afterwards, you may feel less inclined to connect with particular people or work on certain ideas, even if they seemed very important before the cleanse. This means that you are freeing yourself from others' input and discerning the true priorities of your own heart. Wow, that's powerful. To accept a spiritual cleansing now, repeat the invocation, then relax for as long as you need. The invocation will read at the bottom. You can repeat this process daily for 3 days or up to 3 weeks if you feel you need to, etc., etc., etc. Your rest can be for several minutes or up to a half hour or more. If you fall asleep during this cleansing, that can allow for even deeper cleansing. Again, this is kind of like more of a specific related to like an additional thing, but we don't have to worry about this right now. It's basically just encouraging you to find a place of rest. Pay particular attention to what you sense immediately after your cleansing. So again, for the cleansing, it's basically saying here, it says, relax for as long as you need with the oracle card resting down over any part of your body that you intuitively feel can use spiritual cleansing. Obviously, you're not going to do that, but this is basically just encouraging you to kind of like slow down and listen to your body and listen to where you feel you need cleansing. So just moving forward here. Pay particular attention to what you sense immediately after your cleansing. It is a time when you may become very aware of who or what has been draining you. and be able to lovingly but firmly say, "You must leave my energy field now and not return without my express verbal permission. Of my own free will, so be it." This oracle is also confirmation for those who have been questioning if a relationship, person, or situation has been draining you or transferring negative energies or thoughts into your energy field. Your insights are correct, and you can now use this energy clearing process to remove the cords of attachment and release any negative energy from this person or the situation. Okay, let's dive a little bit deeper here. Awesome. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome to Casey. Welcome to April as well. And thank you everyone for the warm welcomes. For those of you on TikTok or Instagram, click the link in my profile. Join in on YouTube. And let's dive a little bit deeper here. So, number 25, Merkaba spiritual protection. So when we're talking about Merkaba spiritual protection, we're basically talking about like the overall like energy body, the overall energy field. And so understanding like how the energy field in itself is actually something that can carry energy inside of it, it's important to be able to make sure that we're going through a process of doing regular routine maintenance. And so again, this is something where for different people, it's going to kind of mean different things. But in a lot of ways, it's really being able to kind of like bring a degree of honesty into your day-to-day relationship between yourself and other people, to be able to be self-aware of whether or not they are helping you or they are hindering you, whatever that energy may be. So this may be people, but again, literally kind of what we were talking about before, it could even be a habit. It could even be an addiction. It could be a vice. And so it's really up to us to be able to understand that even in the processes where there may be energy that we may kind of acknowledge as being negative, that energy in itself is still a teacher. That energy could be teaching you how to be able to create healthy boundaries, how to be able to communicate more clearly, how to be able to develop and apply discernment with what it is that you are currently working with in this process of time. One of the things that I like to be able to reflect on as we're kind of moving through this is this idea that instead of just thinking that like, oh, you're creating this protection shield around you and it's just going to bounce off negative energies and you never want to be able to be in the space of negative energies, that's almost kind of like a form of kind of like spiritual bypassing in a sense, because fact is you're not going to avoid negative energies. It's next to impossible to be able to do that. You will rather what will happen is you will come into the presence of them, but then you will have the opportunity to be able to transmute them. So rather than just thinking of it as like a force field around your body that's there to bounce off negative energies, think of it as like a field that actually alchemizes the energy. So someone might project something negative towards you, but then as it goes through your field, like your protection field, it actually kind of like dematerializes it, annihilates it, combobulates it, whatever, into neutral energy. And then you actually use that neutral energy in a way that it can positively transform you. So for example, someone could say something hurtful to you, but then you could be like, hey, like, I see what you did there. Yeah, it made me feel things, but at the same time, I'm actually going to use this to be able to say that, you know, this is how I feel about this. This is the boundaries I'm setting. And maybe it can be something where you move into a conversation with someone and it actually becomes a form of empowerment. It actually becomes a form of empowerment when you allow yourself to be able to understand that rather than just avoiding negative energies, it's rather being able to change the relationship and how you work with those negative energies to still be able to serve you on your path of growing, developing sovereignty, creating healthy relationship, creating healthy boundaries, so forth and so on. So with this card, kind of like before, it's being able to make sure that we're kind of slowing down, resting, dropping into that place of silence where we can actually begin to listen, and we can begin to listen to what it is that our body is feeling and where we may be feeling drained in particular areas. Sometimes it may be subtle. Sometimes it may be something where, like, you know, it's like a relationship that it almost may be like really comfortable, but it may not be really healthy. Like, how many people can relate to that, right? Where it's just kind of like, oh yeah, like me and my partner just kind of like hang out and play video games all the time, but we don't really do too much more than that type thing. And even though you might actually find a part of yourself really enjoying that space, you have to really be able to be self-aware and be conscious and be kind of in love with yourself to that degree where you have to be able to say, actually, you know what, like this is actually almost draining my focus away from other things that I could be focusing more on. such as myself. And so again, it's not to say like, hey, just because it's that you have to cut it off completely, but again, it's being able to bring in moderation, changing your relationship between yourself and the different energy dynamics which exist throughout your many relationships. Again, like this is basically like encouraging you to just really get able to reflect on your relationship with all the things in your life. Relationships with people, relationships with objects, relationships with emotions, relationships with habits, relationships with patterns, relationships with like food and media, all of these things, because this is going to bring energy into your field. And ultimately you want to be able to have a form of energy exchange where you're getting something out of the energy as it continues to kind of interact with you. So again, that's why like, would you want to watch the news like for like 2 days straight or something like that? Like how would that make you feel? It would probably make you feel pretty weird. And then after a while you'd be like, yeah, I think I need to turn this off, right? Same thing with any sort of relationship. You need to be self-aware. Excuse me. You need to be able to have a degree of self-consciousness in order to be able to notice the subtle periods within your experience where people may be draining your energy. So the other thing that I'll say, this is like seriously one of the most powerful ideas that I could tell you. And I hope by me saying this, it literally even shifts the paradigm for some of you, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to inspire you guys and pump you up and to be able to nurture and add fuel to your spiritual fires. The good kind, the igniting kind that inspire you. But nobody can take your power from you. You can only give it to them. Relatively speaking, nobody can take your power from you. You can only give it to them, either consciously or unconsciously. ... Like that's kind of the thing. So when you think about it that way, are there people within your reality that you are unconsciously giving your energy to? Again, this could be like a codependent relationship. Again, this could be like an old friend that is kind of like taking advantage of your kindness. This could be someone who doesn't fully acknowledge your self-worth. This could even be the relationship with yourself, ultimately. But again, this is an important card to be able to make sure that not only are we taking time to be able to slow down, but I would say adding into this, just being able to make sure that we're cultivating the wellness within our physical body, which in turn will strengthen our overall spiritual awareness, and also like our kind of like our physical body, which in turn affects like the energetic field. So in addition to being able to say what you will and will not continue to interact with or cut out or create boundaries with, also make sure that you're literally just taking care of yourself. So again, here's your daily reminder to make sure that you're like bringing balance into your life through exercise, diet, sleep, water, sunlight, meaningful social interaction, creative expression. Make sure you're doing those things, because those things are going to be able to kind of bring you into a space where your discernment will be much more actively capable of being able to identify when things are draining your energy. Because if you're not, this is why I'm telling you this, if you're not taking care of yourself physically and you're just kind of in this place where it's like, well, I kind of just feel like crap all the time, you know, like I'm just kind of meh, blah, blah. And again, no shame in that. We all get there at periods of time, but you don't want to stay there. Like that's the thing. If you're there for a bit, you want to be able to like rise up out of it. And that's where, again, you know, it can kind of, you might be there in order to learn how to get out of it. But when you're in that place where you're just like, meh, it's probably harder to notice when things are draining your energy, because your energy is already such a kind of like a lower vibration. And again, I'm not trying, that's not like a shame thing. That's more just a comparison thing. It's more at a kind of like a lower vibration that even if someone is kind of like siphoning your energy, you're not really fully conscious of it. But when you're healthy, when you're meditating regularly, when you're attuned, when you're like really dialed in and everything like that, you're very aware when things are kind of like are in a relationship to your energy field that doesn't sit well with you, and then you are responsible for doing something about it. How many of you saw that little video that I did the other day, where it's basically like, remember, the boundaries we fail to set are the are the energies that we continue to allow. Say it again for the people in the back. The boundaries we fail to set are the energies we continue to allow. So if someone's like draining your energy, but then you don't set the boundary, you're continuing to allow that energy. So cultivate that general wellness within you to kind of level up your overall strength of your physical vessel, your energetic field, your Merkaba field, And then in there, you'll actually be able to cultivate more of an acute awareness of when this energy may be slightly kind of like off kilter. And for me, like my energy, like I got a good relationship. Like again, it's something that I've developed over the years between myself. If there is like a situation where like I can feel something kind of draining my energy, or even me kind of having my focus pulled to that, I am very aware of that. And it's not to say that I ignore it, but if anything, and this is a key part, and then we'll kind of wrap this up here. If there are periods, if there are relationships within your life that aren't really the most pleasant, but do require your attention, don't simply just ignore them. Don't simply walk away from them. Be responsible, but be very committed to only being able to like invest as much energy as you relatively need to. You know, like don't get sucked into this abyss of drama and then just get pulled into something, and then next thing you know, you're just like, frick, how did I end up here? And I got drama up to my neck. What? Like why? Like what happened here? Instead, the drama may kind of be there, and you might kind of see it, and you might kind of be like, okay, yep, no, okay, I see that. Here's my truth. Okay, here's my 2 cents. If it's relative, maybe I'll say nothing at all, and returning focus back to myself, right? So it's like, hold your ground, stand in your truth, don't be a pushover, but don't ignore energies at the same time that are kind of like not pleasant for you. Because even still, even in the uncomfortable energies, there is still a lesson there. And oftentimes that lesson is leading you towards more of your sovereignty, more of your ability to be able to say yes to this and no to other things. Because when you say no to some things, you're also saying yes to yourself. You're saying yes to yourself when you say, hey, you know what, buddy? Like, last week we hung out and that did a number on me, and I love you, but let's take a pass this weekend. Like that could be to your best friend, right? Like no offense, their best friend. Like some people, that's the thing. Some people may be draining your energy despite their best intention. Have you ever had that? Have you ever had like someone who's like literally just trying to be your friend, but then in retrospect it's like, damn dude, like you're really draining my energy. Like I'm putting a lot of focus into you, and I could be putting more of that focus into myself. Let's focus on shifting this relationship so it becomes a little bit more balanced. So again, absolutely cultivating the balance within you. And again, making sure that you're taking time to rest and to listen and to intuitively be able to connect in and check in with yourself on a regular basis. How is your energy field right now? Is it like, how's the integrity of it? Does it feel like shields are good, or does it feel like your focus is kind of still a little bit over here, a little bit over there? And even if it is, there might be a process where you might just kind of take time to meditate with that, and then without even having to talk to another person, you might just kind of make a promise within your own heart and be like, okay, I acknowledge how much energy I was putting into that circumstance. Here's how I feel about it. Here's what I'm going to do next. And now I'm going to kind of move on, or I'm going to kind of like shift the focus, or I'm going to put it in a box and I'll deal with it when it's relative. But I'm not going to allow myself to kind of get into this habit of just getting sucked into an abyss where I feel like my energy is just kind of like spiraling beyond my control and ultimately taking away focus and energy from myself, and also the work that I'm here to do as a creative ambassador for again, you know, conscious expansion and everything like that. So the other thing with this card here, it says this oracle is also confirmation that if you've been questioning a relationship, person, or situation that's been draining your energy, draining you, or transferring negative energies of your thoughts or your energy field, your insights are correct, and you're now use this energy, the clearing process, remove the cords and attachments. Yeah, again, you know, like don't be afraid to transform a relationship, and if it's one that's meaningful for you, see it as an invitation to be able to communicate clearly. And it's okay. It's okay to be able to change a relationship over time, and it's okay to also be able to close the door on the past, and in turn you open up the space for the future. And the last thing I'll say here, which again is really, really important, as we continue to clear out that energy that takes up space within our field, that isn't energy that's really, really energy that we want to keep there. Not to say it doesn't serve, because again, sometimes that negative energy serves us by teaching us a lesson, but you don't want to keep it there longer than you need it to. And once you practice kind of moving that energy out of the field, like metaphorically, literally speaking, it creates space for new energies to arrive. Wow, ever since I like cut that person out of my life and began focusing on myself, I've actually been feeling this influx of new creative energy as well. So again, it's kind of like you got like a basket full of things. You have to take out some of the things, some of the rotten fruit, and then put in some fresh berries and stuff like that. There, that's a great metaphor for your metaphysical picnic basket. What's in your picnic basket right now? Take out the things that you don't need in your picnic basket and fill it up with the things that are going to serve you and make for a nice, delicious picnic under the tree, under the life tree, maybe. So, spiritual Merkaba spiritual protection. I'm going to read the invocation here. Go ahead, leave your comments down in the chat and write out some affirmations for how this resonates with you, and write out an affirmation of just kind of the message that you receive from this card. Invocation. I call upon unconditionally loving divine protection. The sacred chamber of light, the Merkaba of divine light, is around me now. I choose of my own free will, under divine authority and grace, to release any and all connections, content, and contaminants that do not serve me through unconditional love. I choose of my own free will to take my life journey in the most joyful and loving way possible. I open to divine grace for cleansing and protection of my integrity at all times. I am free to simply be in the truth of me. May all beings be blessed and protected. May all beings be happy and free through mine own free will. So be it. Beautiful, 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 beautiful card. Thank you again, Simon, for helping facilitate that. Thank you again, everyone, for receiving that. Drop those 1111s in the chat if that resonates with you. And go ahead and leave an affirmation in the chat. I will say, I am cultivating self-awareness of my energy fields and adjusting my relationships accordingly to continue to serve in creating a healthy space for my heart, soul, and creative expression. So, awesome. Good job, everyone. Just going to take a moment here for a little intermission. I just got to rest my throat. That's hard work, man. You guys, it's a lot of work to be able to do all these readings. So I appreciate you guys holding support, dropping the gratitude in the chat. As it is right now, team, we're just kind of going to take a little bit of an intermission to be able to hang tight and see if we do have another person ready to sign up for the Patreon, or again, if any of the Patreon supporters want to increase their pledge, and then from there we will go into our next reading. As it is, if there's no new Patreon signups, which I doubt there, like I'm quite optimistic that somebody will sign up for the Patreon in the next little bit, and we'll just hang out here for a little bit. If there is no new Patreon supporter, then that just means that we're going to wrap up the broadcast, which is okay. I've already been on here for over 2 hours, and I'm totally fine with still going though. Like I'm totally cool with going a little bit further. So if you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, again, that's signing up with a monthly contribution to support that work that I do. So if you guys appreciate the work that I do, the production that I do to serve you guys as a conscious creator, if you guys enjoy my funny TikToks, my inspirational videos, our guided meditations, our team podcasts, the facilitation that we do in the community, go ahead and check out the Patreon. And again, you can sign up there at the $11 level to join as a leading member. And that will give you access to the full team chat for our team of conscious creators. And you can also join our collaborative work periods, and you can get discounts for the Light Guardian crystals. As I'm just going to play with this Light Guardian crystal until we get our next Patreon sign up. These are exclusive items. Like, this is like only available through our item shop, and 25% discount for the Patreon supporters. And when you guys sign up, like signing up for the Patreon and then getting to be able to get one of these, like literally pays for the Patreon in itself, because it's like a 25% discount. This is actually a Lumerian Light Guardian crystal. So this is like one of the higher tier ones. For those of you who are tuned in on TikTok, just answering your question there. You're joining on the Patreon to be able to join as a leading member, which gives you additional support within our community of conscious creators. So you're not just paying to be my friend. No, it's not how it works. You guys are already friends. Again, what you're joining as a leading member for is to be able to receive that additional support for you as you continue to develop as a conscious creator. If you're not interested in becoming a conscious creator, you're still welcome to join onto the Patreon and join into our team chat as well. But again, joining on the Patreon is a dope way to not only support me, but also to be able to like invest in yourself, and also to be able to send out that vote for the universe, to be able to be like, yo, like, I say yes to being able to develop myself and to be able to surround myself with a team of like-minded people. So super, super excited. If you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. Again, we're gonna aim for 200 by the end of the month. That's my goal. And thank you again, everyone, so much for just hanging out. And we're currently at 189, working towards 196. Good to read some of those affirmations in the chat. Yeah, we got new moon energy right now. Absolutely. Great time to be able to release. Thank you, Psyche, for reminding us that. Jay says, I deserve to follow my resonance. Cutting people out or changing my relationships does not make me a bad person. Love is not an obligation. Love is a desire. Very, very well said, Jay. Thank you. Pisces, I call upon unconditionally loving divine protection. I choose of my own free will to release all contaminants that do not serve me through unconditional love. I open to the divine grace for cleansing and protection of my integrity at all times. So may it be. Beautiful. Well said, Pisces. Very well read. Very, very well written as well. That was fun to read. So beautiful. All right. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. Thank you, Lady Luck, for joining in as well. Thank you for those of you on TikTok. Let's get that next Patreon sign up as soon as we can, and then we'll get right into our next reading. I'm confident that we'll have a Patreon sign up in the next little bit. So again, if you're a big fan of my work and you want to be able to support on Patreon, please go ahead and do that. You can help facilitate our next reading, and you'll also be able to join as a leading member in our community. And again, this Thursday's podcast is at 8 p.m. EST, and that's on spiritual wisdom of death and dying. So you guys are welcome to tune in for that. And again, it's gonna be an inspirational podcast. It's gonna be a pretty cool one. So thank you again to those of you tuned in on TikTok. Again, we'll play it by ear right now. If there's no new person signing up for the Patreon in the next little bit, that's totally okay. We've been going for a couple hours here, so that just means we'll wrap it up early. I'll probably go play some Pikmin. I downloaded a Pikmin using the GameCube emulator. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Pikmin. That's dating myself. But again, for those of you who are here, joining as a leading member is a super, super cool way to just be able to like work with the team, work with me personally. I've been creating conscious media for over 10 years. I have over 12 years of experience in media production. I'm an award-winning Canadian filmmaker, got a lot of experience there, and I'm here to be able to support you guys. Jay, thank you so much for joining in for those of you on YouTube as well. And again, TikTok, you can click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube, and you can find the link for the Patreon in the button in the top on YouTube and in the info down below. So once we have another sign up, we'll get right into our next reading. We currently got about 14 people tuned in on YouTube. And again, even for anybody who's also already signed up for Patreon, you guys are welcome to click the link in to upgrade your Patreon as well, is what I was saying. So if anybody who's already signed up for the Patreon, if you guys want to be able to upgrade your Patreon for us to do another reading, please feel free to do that. That's funny, Kristen. You know Pikmin? That's cool. Not many people know Pikmin. I mean, it came out in like what 2003 or something like that. So, awesome. All right, team, go ahead. Let us know in the chat if you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon. Drop a 555 in the comments. We'll hang out here for the next little bits. And if anybody is ready to sign up, super, super appreciate it in advance. And again, that's a super awesome way for you to be able to connect further with our team. So, all right. Just listening to messages from my girlfriend. So. Cool. Okay. Cool, team. Thank you again, everyone, so much for joining in tonight. Again, reminder, if you guys are new, you guys are most welcome to connect with our community further, and you can do that by clicking the link for the team chat. That's our Discord server where you can join there. And again, when you join on the team chat, you'll get updates for our regular podcasts. You'll get updates to see what the leading members are up to. And you can also tune in for our team meditations Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And tomorrow's team meditation is going to be led by Truth Seeker Sound by Lise, who is a Scottish sound shaman. And that's again at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link for that is posted exclusively in the team chat, but I do also post it to Instagram in my stories as well. So, all right, team. Looks like things are starting to dwindle down. We got about 10 people tuned in on YouTube. I appreciate you guys hanging out here. If anybody is ready to go ahead and sign up for the Patreon, please feel free to let us know by dropping a 555 in the chat. Again, we've done 4 readings tonight. I'm totally down to be able to do some more readings as well. And again, we'll do some more readings as we have more people signed up for the Patreon. So you guys just have to let me know if you're signing up for the Patreon, and thank you in advance. Even if you guys are signing up later onto the Patreon, that is all super, super equally appreciated because contributions only process on the first of each month. And we're working towards we're working towards our goal of reaching 200 on Patreon by the end of this month, which is my goal. And then next month we'll be working for 230. We'll see. That's going to be like a lot of work, but again, it's connecting with people. It's building the team. Like, that's the thing. The Patreon, like, yeah, you guys are supporting me, but the Patreon's an invitation. And that's the thing. For the people who are just kind of finding this synchronistically, imagine this is like building a team of real world superheroes, of shifters, people helping assist with the shift in consciousness. And if you guys vibe with what I'm doing, there will be a resonance within your heart that will just be like, actually, you know what? I do want to join the Patreon. I do want to join this team. I do want to join this tribe. This sounds very familiar. And this is something that I do want to be able to invest in to be able to support myself. Joining on the Patreon is a very, very exciting thing. And so again, it's an invitation. I'm not trying to sell you guys on the Patreon. I'm inviting those who already resonate. Because those who don't resonate, I don't have to say anything to you. It's not going to change. I'll let you know about it, absolutely. And the invitation is always there. But for those of you who do resonate with it, this is the invitation. This is the invitation for you to be able to connect further. So, Ryder saying, appreciate all that you do, brother. Will become a Patreon when I can. Awesome. Thank you again, Ryder, for being here and for hanging out, and welcome back. Yeah, Pikmin, right? So, awesome. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. For those of you on all platforms, for those of you on TikTok, if you guys want to click the link in my profile, you can find the link for the Patreon, the team chat, and the YouTube. And as it is right now, team, again, we're just going to kind of hang out here. I'm just going to stretch. This is just intermission. So if anybody's ready to sign up for the Patreon, posting the link down in the chat. Only takes about 5 minutes to sign up. I am totally ready to keep doing some more readings. And again, as we have more people sign up for the Patreon, we'll keep going. And let's see, can we reach 190 tonight? I would love to be able to aim to reach 190. So go ahead, if you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. For those of you who are just hanging out, I appreciate you guys' patience. It's not my intention to just kind of like make you wait here. That's not the intention. We're honoring the space, honoring the model that we're setting up here. And again, it's also me honoring my own energy. I would be doing myself a disservice if I just like kept doing unlimited tarot readings, not building the Patreon, and then exhausting myself as a matter of doing so. So beautiful. All right, I'm just checking my like TikTok and everything now. Let's see what videos are going viral today. So beautiful. All right. Thank you again, everyone. You guys are welcome to even just leave a comment where you guys tuned in from if you want to let me know. But yeah, team, we'll hang out here for just a couple more minutes. If there's no new sign up in the next little bit, then we'll wrap up this broadcast. That's okay. It's already midnight, so I don't want to keep myself up too late. But if we can get in one more reading, or again, if any of the Patreon supporters, if you guys want to increase your pledge, you guys are more than welcome to, and then we'll do another reading from there as well. Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you again. You guys are awesome. Send you guys so much love. Excited for what it is we're creating together. So all right, let's see. Just take a look. 99 notifications. Did something go viral? Why is that at 99? That's a lot. Alright, team, we're just kind of hanging out here. Again, if you guys are ready for another reading, go ahead and add your support onto the Patreon. And for any already people on the Patreon, if you guys want to increase your pledge, you can do that and we'll jump into another reading. Let's see. Alright, team, I think we're probably gonna wrap it up. Again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, we've done 4 readings tonight. If you guys would like to be able to support us in doing more readings, we're going to do that for the next person who signs up for the Patreon. So for those of you on TikTok or Instagram, again, if you guys are fans of my work, you can join on Patreon and join as a leading member there and get additional reward and perks. And other than that, you guys are welcome to sign up for the Patreon at any point. And yeah, and I feel like we're probably done for the night, which is totally fine with me. That just means we get to go to bed. That's okay. And tonight's still been good. We still got 2 new signups. So thank you again to Simon, and thank you to Joshua, and thank you to Emily, and thank you to Megan as well, some of our recent Patreon supporters. So all right, team, last call for any new Patreon signups. If you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, do me a favor and drop a 555 in the chat. Glad to see you guys like my video today of the like, what if we're living in a reality what if our reality is a advanced video game created by beings billions of years older than us? So okie dokie. All right. Cool, team. All right, team. Just going to hang out here just for a couple more minutes. If anybody is ready to join on the Patreon, we'll jump into another reading. Again, for those of you on TikTok, you guys are welcome to click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube and join our team chat. We've done several readings tonight. And again, what we're doing right now, we're just deciding if there's going to be another person who's ready to sign up for the Patreon, and then we'll get into one more reading. Otherwise, we're going to wrap up this broadcast in the next little bit. And yeah, I'll do like Q&A stuff another time. Right now, we're not just doing like Q&A, unless it's like Q&A related to the Patreon or whatever. So, but yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. Really appreciate just being able to vibe with you guys, especially those of you who are regulars as well. Thank you for holding space for those of the people who are new. Really, really appreciate it. Okay. Cool. All right, team. Just checking the team chat here. Cool. All right, we're gonna wrap up this broadcast. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna jump off here. There's some other work that I'll be working on tonight as well, and then I'll go to sleep, and then we'll be up early tomorrow morning for our broadcast at 10 a.m. for our team meditation being facilitated by Truth Seeker Sound. And yeah, for those of you who are tuned in on TikTok, you guys are most welcome. And for those of you on YouTube, you guys are most welcome to join our team chat. And you can do that by clicking the link in my profile and joining our Discord server there. And again, if you guys want to be able to connect further in our community and join as a leading member, you can do so by supporting on Patreon. And again, you can join there at the $11 level. And then that will give you access to our full team chat and access to be able to work with me as a conscious media creation coach as well, and lots of other cool stuff to support you on your journey. So cool. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up this broadcast. Thank you again, everyone, so much. I look forward to being able to hang out with you guys again. We got our team podcast tomorrow. I may even do some tarot reading during the middle of the day tomorrow. Again, because the objective is to be able to reach 200 on Patreon before the end of the month. That's the work that I have before me. And again, I just love being able to hang out with you guys. And thank you so much, everyone, for your support in all forms. And please feel free to join on the Patreon whenever it works best for you. Contributions processed on the 1st of each month. Join our team chat. Join our Discord server. DM me on Instagram if you got any questions about the Patreon or anything. And stand by for more inspirational community, awesome collaboration opportunities. So thank you guys so much. Drop some gratitude down in the chat. Say goodnight. Jump over to the team chat if you guys want to hang out there for a little bit. And as always, keep it shifty, and I will see you guys in the future. Until next time, peace, love, and wholeness. Love you guys. Have an awesome night. Go team, go. Go team shifters. Yeah, the shift is inside of you. Yeah. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Much love. See you soon.